Hello everyone, Nemogz here, and today we will be diving into a new fanfiction called What If Naruto Was an Uchiha, Part 1. The battle.
Madara and Hashirama, exhausted of chakra, decide to make one last attempt at a taijutsu battle, not one willing to lose to the other. Both slowly rose from the ground, getting into a fighting stance. Simultaneously, they charged at each other, starting exchanging powerful blows. Blow after blow, each getting parried and returned with the same amount of force. Unfortunately for Madara, due to Hashirama's special healing ability, Hashirama slowly starts gaining an edge against Madara. Soon, Madara is seen on the ground with no energy left to move, and Hashirama has a part of his shoulder bitten off. "I guess this is how it ends, Hashirama," Madara growls as he lays on the ground unable to move. "Yes, I guess it is. I can't allow you to harm my village and my people. I'm sorry, but this is goodbye. Any last words?" Hashirama questions, looking down at Madara with a sad face. "Heh, I only ask you to leave my body on the river so I may drift away peacefully," Madara replies. Hashirama, hearing this, agrees and trudges over to Madara with sword in hand. Madara, knowing what's going to take place, closes his eyes and braces for impact. With no regrets left, Hashirama thrusts his sword through Madara, leaving a stain on the ground. "Goodbye, old friend." Hours after the battle, Madara wakes up, feeling a stinging pain in his abdominal area, and lifts his body to see bandages wrapped around him. His shinobi instincts quickly kick in, and he starts assessing his surroundings. Around Madara seems to be a decently made wooden shack with a stone stove and minimal house appliances. He himself is laying on a medium-sized bed in the corner of the room. Suddenly, the wooden door opens. "Ah, I see you've woken up. Would you like some carrot stew?" a woman asks as she walks to the door holding a basket of fresh carrots. "Who are you? Where am I?" Madara asks until bending down due to the pain of his injuries. Whoa. Slow down with the questions. I found you drifting on a river when I went gathering water. You seem to be heavily wounded, so I decided to bring you home and nurse you back to health. To answer your first question, my name is Namikaze Hanako. And to answer your second question, we are in my house surrounded by my family's farm located on the plains. I guess you could call it the middle of nowhere," Hanako replies. "Now, what about yourself?" "My name is Uchiha Madara. I'm a rogue shinobi. I was fighting Senju Hashirama until I lost," Madara said with distaste in his mouth. "I'm supposed to be dead, but I guess I survived. Ugh," Madara grunts in pain. "Oh my god, are you okay?" Hanako asks. "You should really stop talking. Why don't you just rest up for now?" Hanako says as she rushes over to Madara. "Now, just go to sleep. I'll have some stew ready for you soon." Maybe I should put my old life behind me and start a new one. It doesn't look too bad," Madara thinks as he slowly drifts asleep. A bit more than a year later, the next few weeks after Madara's arrival, Madara shared the stories of being a ninja and all the incredible things he has done throughout his ninja career. Every night in bed, Madara tells Hanako these stories, and every time, Hanako listens intently with admiration while holding Madara's arms. Weeks turn into months, and months turn into a year. Not before long, Madara is now married to Hanako and is working on their farm. Every morning after a hard day of work, Madara returns back to the shack and enjoys his freshly prepared meal from his loving wife. Every day, the cycle repeats, and Madara is slowly forgetting about his hatred towards the world and his goal for power. He now enjoys every day and night with his new partner. "I'm home, Hanako," Madara alerts the busy Hanako cheerfully as she's preparing dinner. "Oh, you're home already? That was a lot sooner than usual." "Oh well, since you're back early, you might as well come help me with dinner," Hanako replies with a smirk. Actually, I was thinking of taking a shower as I'm all sweaty and all," Madara says with a guilty smile as he tries to excuse himself from cooking. Okay, I knew you would think of something again. Get going now, and make sure you're extra clean," Hanako replies quickly as she goes back to work. After the shower, Madara changes into his clothes and arrives at the table seeing a perfectly prepared meal. Stationed in the middle of the table is an ideal golden brown boar with an array of different vegetables to its sides. At the two ends of the tables are 2 bowls of rice with cutlery carefully arranged around it. "Whoa, why so much work?" Madara asks. "Well, today's an extremely important day," Hanako answers sheepishly as she sits down. "Can you guess what day it is?" "Oh, it's our 1-year anniversary of our marriage," Madara exclaimed out loud. Yes, it is our marriage anniversary, but there is also something else that is very important I want to announce. From today onwards, we are a family, Hanako shouts out in excitement. A family? You don't mean, Madara asks, but was cut off by Hanako. I'm pregnant, Hanako shouted with glee. You're pregnant? I'm a father? Madara stuttered out loud, which Hanako replied with a nod of the head. I can't believe it. I'm going to be a father. Wait, you should eat more, so the child can grow up to be as strong and big like me. Here, have my share. The night continued with Madara being extremely caring for Hanako, offering to bring everything to her and doing all the cleaning. By the end of the night, all of Madara's hate and lust for power disappeared and was replaced by love and compassion. The next 6 years. Later that year, after Hanako's pregnancy was announced, the long-awaited birth finally bore fruit. Hanako gave birth to Uchiha Minato. Minato was born looking like an exact carbon copy of Madara, with the exception of his blue eyes and shorter hair. He inherited Madara's powers and potential, along with Hanako's forever-loving personality. Once Minato hit the age of 4, he started training with Madara day in and day out. During the day, Minato would help his father around the farm by carrying and harvesting the crops to polish his physical ability, and by the evening, Minato would train with wooden kunai and shurikens with his father by his side. By the time Minato reached the age of 5, he had already unlocked his first Tomoe Sharingan, along with being a master of the art of shuriken and kunai throwing. Each throw Minato made could hit objects from 30 meters away with deadly precision. Madara was greatly impressed by Minato's accomplishments and started using the time teaching Minato in the art of chakra control instead of shurikens. The day-to-day schedule stayed relatively the same, with a few minor changes. Instead of simply working at the farm during the mornings, Minato had to do drills and workouts to further strengthen his physical abilities. And during the afternoon, he would, under instruction of his father, learn about chakra control along with the occasional shuriken and kunai practice so he doesn't get rusty. Life was going really well for Minato, with his extremely accomplished father tutoring him on the way of the ninja, and his mother preparing food and care for him. This was the life everyone would have wanted, but unfortunately, a perfect life never exists in the ninja world, and tragedy struck on the day after Madara and Hanako's 7th marriage anniversary. This was only a few months after Minato turned 5. The day after Madara and Hanako's 7th year marriage anniversary celebration, Hanako was unfortunately struck with a deadly disease. Madara, using all of his limited resources because he had to keep his identity a secret in case his enemies would come after his son, tried to find a doctor to nurse Hanako. Unfortunately, even after weeks of searching all around the area and numerous doctors coming to analyze the disease, all of them say it's incurable. This news struck Madara hard. His previous hate for the world is slowly crawling back from the dark memories of his past. Even so, Madara never gave up and continued his search for doctors. This all ended up in vain, as about a month after Hanako's diagnosis, she passed away. At the time of Hanako's death, she made Minato promise to take care of himself and become a very powerful ninja. Due to this traumatic experience, Minato unlocked the second Tomoe Sharingan, along with Madara regaining all of his hatred towards the world. Both Madara and Minato held a big and long funeral for their deceased mother-lover. Even after this traumatic experience, Minato knew he needed to continue his life. For the next few months, Minato trained with greater purpose and drive. He needed to become a very powerful ninja in order to fulfill the promise to his mom. Madara, on the other hand, became a lot darker and distant from Minato. This was very apparent to Minato during their training. The previous accepting and professional mentor Madara has now become cold and strict. During training, if Minato would make any mistake, Madara would give Minato a disapproving and disgraceful look. Even during their weekly spars, Madara would hit much harder than he did before, and would say, "That's how you get stronger," as an excuse. All in all, Minato could clearly tell his father-mentor has changed, and changed for the worst. During Minato's 6th birthday, his life went from bad to worse. His birthday was on the day of his weekly spar with his father. The spar started relatively well for Minato, but after about the 3rd exchange of blows, Madara became hostile. The next few moves thrown by Madara were all aiming for vital points and came with overpowering force. This completely shocked Minato, as things like this never happened before. Minato, with adrenaline pumping through his veins, tried as hard as he could to avoid Madara's attacks, but was ultimately knocked out and left unconscious. A couple dozen meters from Hidden Leaf Village gate. Huh? Where am I? Why did Dad do that? Wait, just where is Dad? Thinks Minato, as he slowly wakes up. He was about to stand up until he heard the sound of paper crumpling beneath him. Minato looked down and noticed a packed leather bag with a paper note attached to it. Is this a note from Dad? Minato thought. I should probably read it. Minato, having recently awoken, rubbed his eyes and picks up the hefty bag along with the note attached to it and starts reading. The message read, Dear Minato, if you're reading this letter, then you have probably just woken up after what I did to you. I know you want answers, so I'll try to keep this letter short but specific. In this bag is your mother and I's marriage savings, and it's all the money your mother and I earned throughout the years of us being married. The bag also contains some important family possessions that you may treat as your own. Now, onto the reason why I'm leaving you. You see, after your mother's death, I slowly began to turn back into my old self. I left you because I couldn't bear the thought of my negative ways rubbing off on you, and also that my future plans requires work done alone. Please don't come find me, and live your life in this village that is located following the path in front of you. I founded this village years ago with one of my best friends, Senju Hashirama, and this village is called the Village Hidden in the Leaves. In this village, there are many clans along with powerful ninjas. One of these clans is the Uchiha clan. One thing you must know is that you're different from the members of this clan. Although you all have the Uchiha family name, you, being my son, is a pureblood, whereas the Uchiha clan members in the village are only half-blood. Why, you may ask? Well, this story dates back to the time when ninjutsu was first created. Ninjutsu, previously known as Ninshu, was created by a person named Otsutsuki Hagoromo, or what others called him, the Sage of Six Paths. In his later years, he had two children, the older brother called Otsutsuki Indra, and a younger brother called Otsutsuki Ashura. Indra is the originator of the Uchiha clan, while Ashura is the originator of the Senju and Uzumaki clan. After a long battle between the two brothers for the Sage of Six Paths throne, Indra ultimately lost, resulting in Ashura picking up his father's mantle. Indra, after the battle, sulking and reflecting on his loss, realized that he lost because of his lack of supporters. In order to make up for this, Indra activated a secret ritual creating living Uchihas in an instant. Unfortunately, there's no way to truly make a perfect Uchiha out of nowhere, and the drawbacks were that the artificially created Uchihas / half-bloods were cursed and would slowly lose their eyesight after each use of their Mangekyou Sharingan. This half-blood dilemma can be averted, but the half-blood will have to take an existing sibling's Mangekyou Sharingan and fuse it with their own. Even after fusing, there is still a difference in power. Purebloods, after unlocking their Mangekyou Sharingan, will have access to all of the Sharingan's visual powers, whereas half-bloods can only achieve 2 visual abilities along with the perfect defense / Susanoo. I was the last legit descendant of Indra, which means you are one as well. Carry this information with care and do not tell anyone about your true heritage when you're in the village. Now, on a lighter note, you are a couple dozen meters away from Hidden Leaf Village gates. Today, you've officially reached the age of 6, so I want you to join the academy once you enter the village. The first 2 years will be civilian essentials, like math and writing, but once you turn 8, you will have a choice of either following the civilian path or the shinobi path. I recommend you go to the shinobi path, as that's what all your ancestors before you have done. Anyways, always remember to carry on your Uchiha name with pride. You are allowed to use your Sharingan, but refrain from activating the Mangekyou once you unlock it. As well, never mention that I'm your father, as I have made many enemies in the past being a shinobi, and I wouldn't want them coming after you. Alas, I want you to know, I have really enjoyed the time spent with you and your mother. You and her will always hold a special place in my heart. Until next time, love, Madara. P.S. Burn this note once you finish reading. After reading this note, Minato, with tears running down his face, finds new determination. Realizing the history behind his bloodline, Minato has decided to proudly carry out his father's wishes of him becoming a powerful shinobi. Carrying the new flames that have ignited within his heart, Minato looks forward to this future and starts burning the letter in his hands. Slowly, Minato stands up with a leather bag hanging from his back and walks towards the Hidden Leaf Village gates. 2 years later, an energetic child with black hair and blue eyes, around 120 centimeters in height, arrives at a hand encounter for shinobi applicants. Waiting 2 long years, this moment has finally arrived. Now, I can finally join the shinobi path and spend my next 4 years learning more about the ninja way. It's going to be a great experience learning new jutsus and making new friends. Awesome! Tomorrow's going to be the best day ever, Minato thinks to himself as he slips the form into the hand-in box. The very next day, as Minato walks into the classroom, he gets greeted with kids jumping around, playing, some even fighting. Minato quickly uses his hands to block out the noise and scans the room for an open seat. Okay, so obviously I won't be sitting with the kids over there. They're too loud and energetic. Then there's those kids sitting over there. No, they're too chaotic. Geez, finding a good spot to learn is just so hard, Minato thinks to himself. As Minato continues to scan the room in order to find a proper place to sit, he quickly sees a red-haired girl. Immediately, she grabs his attention and Minato starts blushing. Soon though, Minato realizes that the pretty girl was surrounded by a group of boys who seemed to be teasing her hair color. Those boys shouldn't be doing that to pretty girls, thought Minato. I should probably do something about it. But just when Minato was about to step in, the red-haired girl turned her head and gave Minato a death glare. In less than 5 seconds, the bullies surrounding the red girl would be either found on the ground moaning or flying across the room. Wow, she's strong, Minato thought. Guess I didn't need to step in at all. Quickly, Minato finds a seat and sits down, breaking eye contact with the pretty red-haired girl. A few moments after everyone was seated, the teacher walked in and asked everyone to introduce themselves. Her name's Kushina. What a great name, Minato thought. For the rest of the day, Minato would listen to every word the teacher said, along with some occasional glances at the red-haired girl, Kushina. Next 15 to 16 years. For the next 15 to 16 years, Minato would trade day in and day out so he could protect those that are close to him. Each year in the academy, Minato would win the Rookie of the Year as he was an Uchiha prodigy. To all others, Minato was just an Uchiha left to fend for himself that developed independence earlier than others due to being left alone. After his graduation, Minato quickly climbed up the ranks and became a Jonin at the young age of 14, and soon a Jonin instructor at the age of 19. He acted as an instructor of Uchiha Obito, Nohara Rin, and Hakate Kakashi. Due to his contributions during the Third Great Ninja War, Minato was named the 4th Hokage and was given the nickname Crimson Flash. Minato's nickname originated from the fact of how his blood-red eyes were the only things his enemies saw before they died. During his service in the war, Minato also developed an A-rank jutsu called the Rasengan. This jutsu was derived from witnessing a tailed beast bomb from Kumo's 8-tailed Jinchuriki with his Sharingan. During Minato's time as Hokage, the Uchiha clan's influence in the village started to elevate. Very soon, the Uchihas were being respected more and more by the civilians, which greatly helped the Uchihas with their work, as they were the village's police force. Life seemed to get a lot better for the Uchiha clan, and soon, the clan elders' worries and discontent for the village slowly washed away. Within his time of being Hokage, Minato also found the love of his life, Kushina. Kushina, who is the 9-tailed Jinchuriki and nicknamed the Red Death because of her red hair, was the perfect wife for Minato. They met each other during their time at the Ninja Academy, and after a heroic rescue from Minato during Kushina's kidnapping, they fell in love. Mikoto, Fukaku's wife, was one of Kushina's best friends, and most of the time during the day, you would find Kushina and Mikoto chatting in the Uchiha compound. During their pregnancy, those two would often talk about how their children would become great friends, and over time, the two families grew closer and closer, eventually to the point where they acted as one big family. In the next chapter, 1 year later, on July 23rd, our two main characters were born, Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Naruto. Unfortunately for Uchiha Naruto, his life starts with a big misfortune. Congrats, Kushina! It's a boy! You're a mother now! Says the nurse, slowly handing the child over to Kushina. Hello, Naruto, Kushina says weakly as she holds the child in her arms. Suddenly, a swirl in space along with a masked man appears in the middle of the room. And hello, 9-tailed Jinchuriki, says the masked man in a menacing voice. In a secret underground bunker outside the Hidden Leaf village. The day is July 23rd, and both Kushina and Mikoto are giving birth in a secret underground facility heavily guarded with Anbu and Uchiha police. Minato, focusing all his concentration on keeping the 9-tailed seal locked, thinks back to his meeting with Lord Third the day prior. Flashback during a meeting between Minato and Lord Third. Lord Third, what do you need from me? Asks Minato as he arrives at the request of the third Hokage. Minato, I called you here to check up on how preparations are going for Kushina's childbirth, said Lord Third while smoking his pipe. Yes, the preparations have already been made. I've assigned Fugaku along with his most trusted Uchiha elites to guard Kushina during her birth. And it just so happens that Mikoto, Fugaku's wife, is also giving birth on the same day, so we have decided for her to give birth along with Kushina. It was a personal request from both of them, saying that this would strengthen the bond between their children, replied Minato. Okay, I see. But for extra precaution, I'll assign a few members of my personal Anbu there as well, said the third Hokage. End of flashback. Wah, wah. Naruto and Sasuke cry out loud, both being carefully held by the assigned nurses. Okay, it's time to reapply the nine-tailed seal, Minato thought, with his forehead laced with sweat, not even having the time to spare Naruto a look. Congrats, Lady Kushina and Lady Mikoto. They're both boys, examined the two nurses. What are their names? They ask. His name is Naruto, says Kushina in a weak and trembling voice, with her head turned towards him. Ours is Sasuke, Fugaku said, while looking down at his newborn baby boy. Welcome to the family, says Mikoto with a strain in her voice, looking at the baby in Fugaku's arms. Both nurses then take the two children away, getting ready to place them in their individual beds. Then suddenly, a swirl in space along with a masked man appears in the middle of the room. Hello, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, says the masked man in a menacing voice. In a matter of seconds, the masked man lunges for the newborn babies. Fugaku, with his Sharingan activated, reacts, but is only able to take Sasuke into his arms. The masked man, now holding Naruto with his left hand, pulls out a kunai and is about to stab Naruto. Minato, seeing this, withdraws from reapplying Kushina's seal and teleports Naruto away. Once out of danger, Minato hands Naruto to Fugaku and instructs him to take the children away. Fugaku, now with his Mangekyou Sharingan activated, convoys both Naruto and Sasuke along with Mikoto to safety. Unfortunately for Minato, the masked man also convoys himself along with the half-sealed Kushina away. An unknown location away from the village. Haha, I'd expected more resistance from the fourth Hokage. No matter, as his incompetence will only benefit my plans. I should probably get started, the masked man says, as he prepares to unseal the Nine-Tails. Wait, what do you mean, get started? Kushina asks, demanding for an answer to all this. Well, can't you see? Today's a special day. It's a day that I'm going to unseal the Nine-Tails and finally destroy this wretched village, the masked man answers, as he starts extracting the Nine-Tails. Kushina, tired and exhausted from giving birth, shrieks in pain as the Nine-Tails is being extracted from her. Trying desperately to slow down the extraction, Kushina uses the remainder of her chakra to release chains from her back. These chains fly at blinding speeds towards the masked man, wrapping themselves around him. Oh, chakra stealing chains, huh? The masked man comments. I applaud you for trying that, but that won't stop me. Not even stopping for a moment, the masked man simply phased through Kushina's incoming chains and continued with the extraction, eventually finishing it. Kushina is now found lying limp on the ground with no color left on her face, and passed out. The ground, as a result of the sudden addition of mass from the Nine-Tailed humongous figure, starts to shake and crack. Yes, I'm out of that prison, the Nine-Tails roars. Finally, my long-anticipated plan will come true, the masked man shouts, as he examines the Nine-Tails' powerful figure. Though right before the masked man could completely control the Nine-Tails with a genjutsu, a flash of red appears and the masked man receives a punch straight in the stomach, losing his concentration. Not expecting this, the masked man fell over due to the impact, and in another flash of red, the half-dead Kushina disappeared along with the culprit of the punch. How dare he sneak up on me, the masked man growls in anger. Noticing that the Nine-Tails is still present, the masked man immediately quenches his anger and resumes his plan. After placing the Nine-Tails under a genjutsu, the masked man teleports himself to his main target. Inside of the village. During the middle of the night, a swirl in space appears along with the masked man in the middle of the streets. Time to show them true despair, the masked man chants as he summons the Nine-Tails. Instantly, in a puff of smoke, the massive body of the Ninetales appears in the middle of the village, crushing a dozen buildings in the process. Broken houses were flying all over the place as the Ninetales swung its tails widely. The Leaf Village immediately flew into disarray. Emergency sirens sounded, and the villagers quickly evacuated under the direction of the village police. Many shinobi tried to attack the Ninetales, hoping to slow it down, but only to lose their lives in the process. Seeing the predicament the village was in, the third Hokage, equipped it with his battle armor, led a wave of Anbu members to intercept the Ninetales on his rampage. In a safe house far away from the village, both Naruto and Sasuke are crying in their individual baby crates, each not knowing what is going on, so they both continue to express their discontent. Mikoto, weak and tired, laid on the one of two twin-sized beds, with Fugaku by her side holding a cup of water. Hearing the constant crying of the two babies, Fugaku walked over and tried to calm them down. Fugaku picked up the two babies and started pacing around the room singing a song. Unfortunately, dealing with babies wasn't Fugaku's forte, and soon both Naruto and Sasuke cried even louder. Disappointed and remembering his curse with little kids, Fugaku put the two babies down, but this time together in the same crate, and left. Surprisingly, once Naruto and Sasuke felt each other's calming presence, they instantly fell asleep. Mikoto, knowing about Fugaku's history with babies, was surprised by their sudden tranquility and asked in a weak but aggressive voice, "Fugaku, what did you do to them? Don't tell me you put them in a genjutsu!" Whoa, don't come to conclusions so soon, Mikoto dear. I didn't do anything other than put those two noise machines beside each other. Also, you're still weak. You should learn from those two and go to sleep, Fugaku answered. I'll go do my rounds now so you can rest assured. During the middle of his rounds, a red flash appeared, and both Minato and Kushina could be seen in the room. Minato, in a hurry, gently laid Kushina down on the other twin-sized bed, and left without speaking a word. Fugaku, not knowing what was happening, arrived beside Kushina to examine her wounds. With a quick glance of his Sharingan, Fugaku knew Kushina did not have long. "Fugaku, would you promise me that you will take care of Naruto if Minato and I don't make it? I can't imagine what life would be like for Naruto if he lived alone," Kushina pleaded in an extremely weak voice. "I understand. I promise. If Naruto would ever be left without parents, we would take him in," Fugaku assured. "Now rest up and conserve your energy. I believe that after this disaster, the medics in the village may find a way to save you," Fugaku said in a calming voice. Kushina did as she was told and closed her eyes, knowing that her child was in good hands. Back in the village, the Ninetales, under the Masked Man's control, continued its destruction within the village. About a minute after its rampage, Minato, along with the third Hokage and his fleet of Anbus, arrives at the scene. Simultaneously, the Anbu fired their respective ninjutsu along with the third, extending his adamantium staff at the gigantic mass of Chakra. Minato, on the other hand, after arriving, engages the Masked Man in a battle. The Masked Man, not wanting to risk the possibility of Minato ruining his plans, convoys both him and Minato away from the village. Middle of the woods. Once the convoy opened, Minato quickly backed off to keep his distance from the Masked Man and activated his Sharingan. Minato then proceeded to spread his flying Raijin-marked kunais around the area. The Masked Man, wasting no time, engaged in a rapid taijutsu battle with Minato. Minato, with the help of his Sharingan, easily dodged the Masked Man punches, and after a long barrage of attacks from both sides, Minato and the Masked Man backed off to ready themselves for round 2. Seeing as this was the perfect opening, Minato charged the giant Rasengan on his right hand, and in a red flash smashed it against the Masked Man's body. The aftershock of the Rasengan twisted the Masked Man's flesh and thrusted the Masked Man through a dozen of trees. "Impossible! I made sure to not go even close to your marker," spat the Masked Man as blood was running down half his body. "I marked your stomach with my flying Raijin seal during our previous exchange when you released the Ninetales," said Minato proudly, as he knew he had won. "This won't be the end of me," said the Masked Man. "I am Uchiha Madara, and I won't stop till this whole village is reduced to dust." The Masked Man, after his announcement, slowly retreats back into his convoy, trying to hold back the blood gushing out of him. Minato, after hearing the Masked Man's statement, is stunned, but has no time to think too much, cause the Ninetales is still causing chaos in the village. Back in the village, During Minato's time away, the third Hokage, along with his Anbu squad, defended against the Nine-Tails pretty well. Since their arrival, the Nine-Tails has been relatively contained and its destruction has been limited to a small area. No further buildings was destroyed, but even so, this wasn't a permanent solution, as the Anbu soldiers are slowly losing chakra and stamina. Lord Third, the Nine-Tails containment was a success, but we can't keep this up much longer, reported an Anbu official. I understand, said Lord Third, but we can only wait for Lord Fourth, as he's the only person capable of teleporting such a beast, he replied. Understood, the Anbu member replied. Just as the conversation ended, the genjutsu controlling the Nine-Tails also disappeared. The previous mindless attacking monster was now replaced with an intelligent and angry Nine-Tails. The Nine-Tails, having had enough of being pushed around and manipulated, decided to end this charade by charging up for a fully powered tailed beast ball. But during the process of creating the tailed beast ball, unexpectedly, a huge toad appeared above the Nine-Tails, cutting off the technique. Before long, the incomplete tailed beast ball was teleported away and exploded at the place where Minato and the Masked Man previously fought. Before anyone could realize, the Nine-Tails was also gone in a red flash. Guess Minato made it in time, the third Hokage thought. Anybody who can still fight, come with me and let's go help the fourth in his battle, the Lord screamed. Aye, a group of Anbu members said in unison. Back at the safe house. After Minato left Kushina at the safe house, Fugaku tried his best to deal with Kushina's condition of chakra exhaustion. Rummaging through the stored medical equipment, Fugaku finally found the medical chakra fluid. Immediately, he attached the fluid pack onto the feeding tube and connected it to one of Kushina's main arteries. Seeing that Kushina's condition has gotten a bit better, Fugaku finally sat down to rest. Relaxing in the quiet room of sleeping bodies, Fugaku found himself in a long-awaited sense of peace. About half a minute after Fugaku sat down, the building started to rumble and things were falling apart. Feeling the commotion, Kushina, along with Mikoto, awoke, looking around for the problem. Fugaku, with his senses turned on, noticed the familiar but overpowering chakra of the Nine-Tails. At light speed, Fugaku activated his Susanoo that encased the safe house. Getting off his chair, Fugaku exited the safe house to see Minato drenched in sweat and breathing heavily with the Nine-Tails at full display. Hey, Minato, what's happening? How's the Nine-Tails here? Fugaku asks as he gets into a fighting stance. I teleported the Nine-Tails here so it won't be able to further harm the village. I've got a plan, but I need your help. Can you temporarily put the Nine-Tails in a genjutsu? Asks Minato. I'll only need a few seconds. Not waiting for the Nine-Tails to make its move, Fugaku immediately placed the Nine-Tails under a genjutsu. I can't hold it for long, Minato. You better hurry, Fugaku reminded. Minato, not wasting any time, activated the Reaper's death seal. Soon, a Grim Reaper could be seen behind Minato. Kushina, holding the sleeping Naruto, exits the safe house after hearing Minato's voice and sees what Minato's about to do. Minato, what are you doing? You're going to lose your life after this. How could you bear leaving Naruto on his own? Kushina shouted, carrying Naruto and limping towards Minato. I'm sorry, Kushina, but I must. I can't allow the Nine-Tails to roam free, and I have a plan for Naruto's future. I'll seal half of Nine-Tails' power inside Naruto, so he may grow up to use the power. I believe Naruto is the prophecy child that Master Jiraiya talked about, and I'll be giving the key of the seal to him. Before I die, I'll be leaving a part of my soul inside the seal, so I can see our boy again, but all grown up, Minato said, crying. Fugaku, do you still remember your promise? Kushina asks. Yes, I do. I'll take care of Naruto no matter what he holds inside him, Fugaku replies. I don't have much time left either, so after this, I'll leave Naruto in your care, said Kushina. Kushina, with the last of her strength, limps towards Minato and rests Naruto on the ground. Minato, completing the seal, leaves the evil half of the Nine-Tails inside himself and seals the good half inside Naruto. He then summons the frog and places the key onto it, telling him to bring it to Jiraiya. Afterwards, both Kushina and Minato imbues the remaining amounts of their chakra inside Naruto's seal. Goodbye, Naruto, said both Kushina and Minato with the last of their breath. Fugaku, expending an excessive amount of chakra on immobilizing the Nine-Tails, collapses on the ground and passes out. Naruto, after having half of the Nine-Tails sealed inside him, wakes up and starts crying. Not long after this, inside the safe house, the noise of Sasuke's cries can also be heard. The two boys' cries rang out and echoed throughout the forest. About 5 minutes later, the third Hokage, along with the Yanbu, finally arrive and relocate our Uchihas. 3 days after the Nine Tails incident. As a result of the Nine Tails incident, many buildings were destroyed and numerous lives were lost. Village morale was extremely low. Everyone in the village either mourned for their loved ones or tried their best to recover from the financial deficit. Fortunately, the village council foresaw these disasters and saved a hefty amount of funds to reactivate the village. All the villagers who were affected by this disaster were relocated and taken care of. Funds were given to them so they could rebuild what they lost. Village life resumes as normal for about the first 2 days, but soon the news of the fourth Hokage's death spread like wildfire. For many, losing a Hokage was like losing a pillar of defense. It was never something to be taken lightly, especially during a time where wars between villages were common. Due to this unfortunate setback, the now retired third Hokage had now to resume the position again until a new Hokage could be found. During this time, life for the Uchiha clan seemed bleak. After the incident, many Uchiha clan members worried about their future position in the village. With their clan chief Fugaku bedridden and the absence of their greatest supporter Minato, many young Uchihas feared that the village might kick them out. What made things worse was that the fact that many council members believed that the disaster was caused by them. Because of this fact, tension between the Uchiha clan and the village thickened once again. In the central hospital. Huh? Where am I? Fugaku says as he slowly regains consciousness. Wait, where are the others? I don't see them here. Oh no, did they? Fugaku thinks as he jolts up, searching for Mikoto and the newborns. Don't worry, the children are safe. They are with your wife back at the Uchiha compound, the third Hokage said as he walked into the room. Lord Third, what happened? How long was I out? Fugaku asks with concern. After hearing this question, Lord Third then explains the situation the village is in, as Fugaku wasn't present during the attack. He also tells Fugaku that he was out for 3 days straight. What? The Nine Tails was being controlled by Uchiha? Fugaku examines, putting the pieces in his mind together. He realizes that this disaster was all caused by that masked man. After addressing Fugaku's concerns about how the Uchiha controlling the Nine Tails wasn't revealed to the public, Fugaku calmed down and started to share his story. Understanding Fugaku's story, the third Hokage decides to change the subject. My actual reason of being here is actually to talk about where Naruto goes. At first, I planned for Naruto to live at the orphanage, but after seeing all the fun he was having with Sasuke at the Uchiha compound, I couldn't bear to separate them, the third Hokage said. Will you accept the responsibilities of taking care of the new Nine Tails Jinchuriki and the fourth son? He asked Fugaku. Yes, of course. I've always planned to take care of Naruto. I made a promise to Kushina and Minato, and I'm not breaking it, Jinchuriki or not, Fugaku replies with determination. Good, but this can only happen on 3 terms. First, you must never reveal Naruto's real parents to him, or the fact that he is the Jinchuriki, as this is going to be classified as an S-rank secret. Second, if anyone asks for his identity, you will reply by saying he is fraternal twins with Sasuke. Third, you must treat Naruto as your own son and train him to become a shinobi. Will you abide by these terms? The third Hokage questions, in a serious tone. Yes, of course, I will treat him well, Fugaku promised. Good. I've already told Mikoto about this already when I visited, and you seem like you're in good condition now. You should probably go back to your clan. Your wife has her hands full answering the clan's concerns, the third says, as he exits the room. Few minutes later at the Uchiha compound. After discussing with the third Hokage, Fugaku quickly left the hospital and rushed back home to the Uchiha compound. As soon as he entered the front gate, Fugaku was met with his clan, all who were extremely confused and were searching for answers. Why were you gone for so long? Asked an Uchiha. Did you see the eyes on the Nine Tails? It was the Sharingan. What should we do? Asked another. Do you know who did this? Asked another Uchiha. The questions continued until Fugaku said in a booming voice, I understand if you have questions, but now is not the time to answer them. Tomorrow, I'll be holding a council meeting with the elders. Then, I will be able to answer your questions. Fugaku then rushes home, worried for his family, especially the 5-year-old Itachi, who had been left alone during the Nine Tails attack. Fugaku arrived at his house to see Itachi sleeping beside the 2 infants. Phew, Thank God. They're still okay, Fugaku whispers out as he tiptoes back to his office, only to see Mikoto there, sleeping as well. It must have been extremely tiring to do all my work while taking care of the newborns, Fugaku thinks, as he carries her to bed. Sleep nicely, Mikoto, whispers Fugaku. After putting Mikoto to bed, Fugaku went back to his office and finished the rest of the paperwork as a clan head. By the time he finished, it was already 7 p.m., so Fugaku thought it would be a great idea to do something nice for his family by cooking a huge feast. Fugaku then entered the kitchen and tried to cook, but every time the food either came out tasteless or charred black. Eventually, after many attempts and emptying the pantry and fridge, Fugaku ultimately gave up and decided to just buy the food. Once he got home, he immediately set up the table and distributed the food. Once everything was ready, Fugaku went to wake up everyone. Mikoto was the first to arrive at the kitchen and was astonished by all the food that was on the table. "Wow, Fugaku, you really mastered the art of cooking. These dishes look superb," examined Mikoto. Fugaku, after hearing his wife's compliments, felt bad and decided to tell her the truth. "Actually, I tried to cook, hence the warm stovetop ingredients, but ultimately I failed and decided to buy takeout," Fugaku said, looking guilty. Mikoto, realizing the truth, just laughed and went to wake up the kids. After entering the bedroom, Mikoto saw Itachi sleeping beside the two newborn babies on the floor, and decided that the babies probably needed more sleep than food, so she left them to sleep. "I would wake up them later. For now, let's just give them some rest," thinks Mikoto as she walks to Itachi. Itachi, after being woken up by Mikoto, understood her thoughts and quietly placed each baby inside their individual crates and left the room. Not even 2 steps out, the cries from Naruto and Sasuke echoed through the house. Itachi, being the caring and older brother he is, walked back in the room and, unlike Fugaku, was able to calm the two down. After the crying stopped, Itachi put the 2 babies in the same crate and left. The moment he did, the babies fell sound asleep. Dinner went well between the family members. During dinner, Itachi and Mikoto filled Fugaku in on the events within the clan during his coma, and asked questions on how the clan will operate in the near future. Fugaku, having really little time to think, just shrugged off the questions and said that it will be answered during the council meeting tomorrow. The night ended peacefully, with Fugaku leaving for bed early and Mikoto along with Itachi cleaning things up before heading to bed. The next morning, it was 6 in the morning. Everyone was sound asleep until... Wah! Wah! Both Naruto and Sasuke cry in unison, waking up everyone. Yawn! Why are they crying now? Fugaku thinks as he slowly gets out of bed. Fugaku, along with Mikoto, walked out of the room to see Itachi already with the babies, who just seemed to cry louder and louder as time went on. "I think they are crying because they're hungry," Itachi says as he looms over Naruto and Sasuke's bed. "Hungry? Why would they be hungry? There was more than enough food yesterday." "Oh," Fugaku says, until he remembers that the baby's gone to bed and hadn't eaten dinner last night. "They must be starving. We might as well make breakfast now. My meeting's at 7, so my schedule won't be too messed up, but you guys should go back to sleep. I can handle the kids," says Fugaku. Mikoto, knowing how Fugaku is with kids, replied, "No, it's okay. I'll make breakfast. Fugaku, you can prepare the materials for your meeting. I bet the clan will have many questions." "I'll stay up as well," Itachi says, seeming extremely energetic. "Thank you, Itachi," Mikoto says, rubbing her eyes. The 3 Uchihas, after the discussion, split up and start doing their individual tasks. Mikoto runs down to the kitchen and starts preparing breakfast. Fugaku goes back into his office preparing what he would say at the meeting, and Itachi stays with Naruto and Sasuke taking care of them for the time being. At around 6:30, the baby's breakfast was ready, and the delicious aroma of the food penetrated the building walls, enticing the hungry baby's appetite. The babies, with their stomachs rumbling, were now craving for the food. Itachi, understanding the baby's needs, quickly ran down to the kitchen and grabbed 2 bowls of oatmeal and rushed back to the babies. With spoons in both hands, Itachi simultaneously fed both Naruto and Sasuke. Soon, after both babies were fed, they immediately fell asleep again, and the house became quiet. Itachi, after cleaning their messy face, laid both Naruto and Sasuke back in their shared crates. and left for his breakfast. Breakfast continued as normal, except that they were all tired. Right after breakfast, Itachi, being only 5 years old, went right back to bed and passed out. The children are finally asleep, Fugaku says, with a fulfilled look. Yeah, and Itachi has really grown up. At 5, he's already acting as better parents than us, Mikoto replied. Yes, that's true, Fugaku says. I'm so proud of Itachi. He's surely going to become a great ninja one day. Also, how does he get those kids to sleep or do anything? Maybe I'll ask him someday. But now, on the topic of the babies, what do you think their first words are gonna be? Ah, who I'm kidding. Of course it's gonna be my name, Fugaku says in a taunting tone. What? No way. Their first words are gonna be my name, Mikoto answers. Oh yeah? If you're so confident, why don't we make a bet on it? Whoever loses has to change their diapers forever, or until they grow out of it, Fugaku bets. I'll take on that bet, because it's obvious I'm going to win. If you don't want to be changing their diapers, then you better back out. Huh, we'll just see about that, Fugaku smirks. Yeah, we'll see about that, Mikoto answers fiercely. Anyway, it's almost time for my council meeting, so I better get going now, Fugaku says as he leaves the house to meet the Uchiha clan heads. At the Uchiha meeting, the meeting started at 7 a.m. sharp in the secret underground Uchiha facility. Okay, I've gathered you all today because I would like to discuss the future of the Uchiha clan along with answering any of your concerns. I will start with the questions. Who wants to ask first, says Fugaku, facing the most important members of the Uchiha clan. Leader Fugaku, I would like to ask about what you plan for the clan now that the 4th Hokage is gone, asked an Uchiha elder. As you may all know, Uchiha Minato was a great friend of mine, and so was his wife. I believe that the clan should operate as normal and continue to strengthen our bond with the village, as I believe this is what Minato would have wanted, answered Fugaku. How do you expect us to operate normally when the village council is suspecting us for the Nine-Tails attack? Many Leaf Shinobi along with our clan members saw the Sharingan eyes on the Nine-Tails, asked another Uchiha elder. I've already dealt with this. The 3rd Hokage has promised me that this information shall not be leaked to the public and will stay between the council and high-ranked shinobi only, answered Fugaku. Are there any more questions? Asks Fugaku. The meeting then quiets down, with the worries of the Uchiha clan members eased. Okay, now that we're done with the question and answer portion of the meeting, let's proceed to my plan for the village. Even though the Sharingan eyes during the Nine-Tails attack isn't going to be released to the public, that doesn't mean the council won't look into this matter. Most definitely, the council will send people to investigate all of you, where and what you were doing during the attack. From now on, I don't want any reports of misbehaving or suspicious Uchihas in the village. For now at least, our clan needs to stay low and not involve ourselves with critical matters. Is that understood? Asked Fugaku in an assertive voice. Yes, clan leader, all the Uchiha elders replied. Good. Then this meeting is adjourned, says Fugaku. 1 year later. During this past year, Itachi would spend most of his day beside Naruto and Sasuke caring for them. Naruto and Sasuke slept together every day and shared everything they got with each other. They were inseparable. The day starts on Naruto and Sasuke's first birthday. Happy birthday, Naruto and Sasuke! Fugaku and Mikoto and Itachi all say in unison. The whole family was stationed around the dining table with a huge cake in the middle. The cake was a fruit cake made extra soft so babies could eat them, and had words Happy Birthday Naruto and Sasuke written on it. The two babies, Naruto and Sasuke, after seeing the huge sweet on the table, started flailing their arms in a frenzy as they tried to reach for it. No, you can't eat yet. You need to make a wish first or at least blow out the candles, said Mikoto. Not really understanding what Mikoto was saying, the two babies moved their arms even faster, eventually to the point where the candles were fanned out. I guess this is okay, said Mikoto, as Itachi just laughs. Fugaku, deciding that it was time to cut the cake, split the cake into 8 pieces. He then started distributing the cakes. Here you go, but first, say Fugaku, Fugaku says, as he was baiting the babies into saying his name. Ukaku, both Naruto and Sasuke say, trying to reach for the cake. No, say Fugaku for cake, Fugaku says while pointing at the slice of cake.
Cake,
Naruto says, looking over to Sasuke. Not Sasuke, Naruto. Say Fugaku, says Fugaku, now turning over to Sasuke to see what he would do. Naruto, says Sasuke, looking back at Naruto. Oh, just give those two the cake. We both lost the bet, said Mikoto, shaking her head in disappointment. Fugaku, after realizing the first name those two said was each other, gave up on winning the bet and handed the two babies their cake. Immediately, once the cakes were within reach, both Naruto and Sasuke stuffed them into their mouths at incredible speed. Before the rest of the family even lifted their forks, Naruto and Sasuke were waving their empty plates, implying they wanted seconds. With everyone's sweat dropping, Fugaku paused and handed those two their seconds. Itachi, along with Fugaku after the birthday celebration, left to train, while Mikoto stayed home looking after the two babies. The two birthday boys, after the cake, were super high on sugar. After crawling around the house a few times, they finally were calm enough to open their gifts. The day ended with the boys playing with their new toys non-stop, both of which were plastic swords. Nearly 2 years later. Today is the day Itachi Uchiha graduates from Civilian Academy. His two younger brothers, Naruto and Sasuke, for the first time are leaving the Uchiha compound. During these past 2 years, Naruto and Sasuke have turned 2 and are turning 3 the following month. They have learned how to walk and are now decently proficient with their language. Itachi, who has just turned 8, is now on his way along with his twin younger brothers and his father to the civilian graduation ceremony. Note, Itachi is still going to be a prodigy and will, same as canon, graduate Ninja Academy in only 1 year. But in this version, he will spend 2 years in the Civilian Academy before entering the Ninja Academy. Older brother Itachi, are you going to become a ninja after this? Asks Naruto while holding Itachi's left hand. No, Naruto, I'm just graduating from the Civilian Academy today. After this, I'll have to spend another 4 years at the Ninja Academy before becoming a real ninja, answers Itachi, looking at Naruto with a smile. But Itachi's an exception. He's our clan's biggest prodigy, so he would be graduating early, adds Fugaku, which Itachi answers with a nod of the head. Wow, big brother's awesome, says Sasuke, holding Itachi's right hand and looking up at his older brother with admiration. That's so cool, adds Naruto, while looking up as well. Let's graduate early as well, Sasuke, and prove that we're better than big brother, says Naruto. Yeah, let's do it, replies Sasuke. Whoa, not so fast, Naruto and Sasuke. Itachi has been training under me since he was 5 years old, and graduating early isn't an easy feat, says Fugaku. Oh yeah? Then me and Sasuke will start training when we are 3, replies Naruto, looking back at Sasuke, expecting a nod. Hell yeah, says Sasuke, with a motivated smile. Well, I won't train you guys until you're both 5 because your infant bodies will still need to develop, answers Fugaku in a stern tone. Puffs Naruto and Sasuke with their arms crossed. Father is right. If you two want to grow up to be tall and strong, then you must not overwork yourself at a young age. It will stud both your growth, comforts Itachi. With no more talking between the 4 males, they quickly make their way to the potluck celebration. At the Academy Square. After our Uchiha family arrives at the place of celebration, they quickly find their seats and the graduation ceremony begins. One by one, the graduating students make their way up the podium and receive their graduation certificates. After each name was called, a round of applause was given by the crowd. Once all the students got their certificates, the announcer announced the start of the family potluck. Immediately, Naruto and Sasuke sped off towards the potluck table. Being the first in line, both children carried 2 full portions of food and started heading back to their seats. After handing the 2 extra portions of food to Fugaku and Itachi, the 2 children quickly scarfed down their food and left to play with the other kids. Hey Sasuke, let's head over there to the playground. I bet there will be many kids playing on the playground, says Naruto, pointing at the direction of the playground. Race you there, says Sasuke as he heads off. Hey, no fair, you get a head start, complains Naruto as he tries to catch up. When they arrive, they see a bunch of kids playing tag on the playground. Guess you were right, Naruto, says Sasuke, because he was the first to arrive. Yeah, obviously I'm right. Believe it, screams Naruto. Both kids then separate to start gathering kids to play tag with them. Hey, kid in the blue shirt, do you want to play tag with us? My name is Uchiha Naruto, says Naruto. Sure, my name is... Oh my god! It's him! Gasped the civilian parent. Get away from my child, you demon! She yelled. I'm sorry, replies Naruto, who was on the verge of crying. Naruto, being embarrassed and hurt, runs away with his eyes bawling. Sasuke, hearing the commotion, turns his head and sees Naruto running away, with tears dripping down his face. Not knowing what happened, Sasuke quickly runs to try to catch up to Naruto. While this is happening, all of the parents on the playground started evacuating their children with fear in their eyes. Hey, Naruto, slow down! What's wrong? Yells Sasuke as he tries to catch up to Naruto, who's on a full sprint. Naruto, not hearing Sasuke's words, continues to run towards the potluck area. Fugaku and Itachi, who are now talking with Itachi's future academy teacher, now hears a crying Naruto coming towards them. Itachi, being the first to react, turns around and embraces Naruto in a hug. They called me a demon, and they told me to get away from the kids. I don't even know why. I didn't do anything, says Naruto, with tears running down his face. Fugaku, understanding what's going on, immediately excuses himself from the conversation and takes the three kids home. On their way home, Sasuke and Itachi both try to comfort Naruto, which makes him feel better, and he stops crying. Once they arrive home, Fugaku says he has some work to do and leaves. Naruto, who didn't get any answers, feels sad, but due to his childlike mind, immediately forgets the events after some words of comfort from his loving family. The Hokage Tower. Fugaku enters the Hokage Tower, furious. Lord Fugaku, what brings your presence? Asks the Anbu guard. I'm here to speak with Lord Third about a serious matter, says Fugaku. I'm sorry, but Lord Third is in an important meeting, answered the Anbu. Hearing what he did not want to hear, Fugaku flared up his chakra. Lord Fugaku, are you trying to cause problems? Asked the Anbu, now with a kunai in hand. Let him in, said an old voice inside the Hokage's office. Just when Fugaku was about to enter, another Anbu member, or I should say, root member, blocked his path. What is the meaning of this? Asked Fugaku, now infuriated by being pushed around. You can go, said a cold voice from inside the office. Understood, said the root member. Fugaku, not wasting any time, opened the door and entered the office. Entering the room, Fugaku sees Danzo and the third Hokage sitting at the table. Lord Danzo, Lord Hokage, says Fugaku, bowing at them both. I'm here to ask about what is the meaning of telling the village about Naruto. We were just discussing about this, answered the third Hokage, looking towards Danzo with a stern look. I told the villagers. They deserve to know that where the Ninetales is, and that there may be a risk of an attack happening again. I did all this to better the village. Now that they know, they will be able to prepare for the disasters themselves, instead of relying on the village's money, replied Danzo with a calm but entitled look. But Naruto is being discriminated against. People are thinking he is the Ninetales reincarnate, shouts an angered Fugaku. Fear is good. Fear is what keeps us humans alive, you Uchiha, sneers Danzo. Enough! Now that things have already come to this, we can't do anything. Fugaku, keep Naruto inside the Uchiha compound and don't tell him the truth. Let him out only once he turns 6 and needs to enter the academy. I believe with Sasuke around, Naruto should be fine. After he enters the Ninja Academy, the students there will know the difference between a scroll and a kunai. Fugaku, you may leave now. I have other things I need to discuss with Lord Danzo, commands the third Hokage. I understand. I'll take my leave now, replies Fugaku as he exits the room. That wretched Uchiha leader. If it wasn't for him, I would have had the excuse to annihilate the Uchiha clan and take their eyes. Let's hope this Ninetales discrimination will entice the Uchihas to continue their coup d'etat, thinks Danzo, while Fugaku exits the room. A few minutes after Fugaku left, the third Hokage spoke again. Danzo, my old friend, I know you have been meeting with my exiled student, states the third Hokage. I don't know what you mean, Hiruzen, replies Danzo. What? How could he know? I made sure to cover up my tracks when I meet with Orochimaru, thinks Danzo. Don't act dumb. I know you know what I'm talking about. Only because you're an old friend, I'm letting you off with a warning. But if I see you do it again, you will be punished, orders the third Hokage. Yes, Lord Third, says Danzo, as he bows and leaves the room. This won't be the end, Danzo mutters quietly. The Uchiha compound. By the time Fugaku arrives, the sky has already dawned. After he opens the door, he sees Sasuke and Naruto playing together without a care in the world. I guess Lord Third was right. Maybe with Sasuke around, Naruto won't feel as discriminated against, thinks Fugaku. Seeing this playful sight, Fugaku sets out a sigh of relief and leaves the two kids to play. He then enters the kitchen to see dinner already prepared. You're home, Fugaku. I'll reheat dinner for you, says Mikoto. After about 15 minutes of waiting, the food was finally reheated on the table. Fugaku starts eating. So, what was so important that you had to miss dinner? Asks Mikoto. I'll tell you later in bed. This is not the appropriate place to talk, answers Fugaku in a serious tone. Knowing that the problem wasn't small, Mikoto left to do the dishes while Fugaku ate. Itachi, train us, says Sasuke. Sorry, little brother. You and Naruto are still too young, replies Itachi. Sasuke, let's go. I have a plan to train, says Naruto, hiding his scroll behind his back. Okay, bye, big brother, says Sasuke as he follows Naruto upstairs. After arriving at their room, Naruto and Sasuke quickly close the door and turn on the lights. That diversion worked perfectly, congratulates Naruto. Yeah, now let's look what's in the scroll, says an excited Sasuke. Naruto then opens the small scroll that titles Basic Training Exercises. After reading the scroll over, Naruto discovered many bodyweight workouts and told Sasuke about them. Let's get started, says Sasuke. Yeah, believe it. We're gonna get so much stronger, yells Naruto. Shh, not so loud, says Sasuke. The two boys then stop making noise for the next 3 minutes, focusing on the sound of footsteps. Thank God I didn't hear you, Naruto. You almost got us caught, complained Sasuke. Sorry, I was just caught in the moment, replies Naruto. It's alright, let's get started now, says Sasuke. For the rest of the night before bed, Naruto and Sasuke would continuously try different types of bodyweight exercises, making them all sweaty. After hearing Mikoto's warning for them to go to sleep, the two boys quickly rush in the shower and clean themselves before going to bed. Good night, Naruto, says Sasuke. Good night, Sasuke, says Naruto, as they both drift asleep. In Mikoto and Fugaku's bedroom. After dinner, Fugaku went to do some paperwork before taking a shower and heading to bed. By the time he entered the bedroom, Mikoto was already in bed waiting for him. So, tell me what's going on now, asks Mikoto in a concerned voice. Danzo has told the villagers that Naruto holds the Nine Tails. Now all the villagers think Naruto is the Nine Tails reincarnate, answers Fugaku. He what? gasps Mikoto. How could he? Why? asks Mikoto. He said that the villagers deserved to know that the Nine Tails incident could happen again, so they would be prepared. But I doubt that sneaky bastard would do anything for the village, unless he greatly benefits from it, answers Fugaku. What should we do now? asks Mikoto. I believe, first of all, we should keep Naruto and Sasuke in the Uchiha compound until they are both old enough to enter the academy. And second, to make sure that our clan doesn't cause any more trouble within the village. I have a bad feeling, answers Fugaku, as he turns off the lights and heads to sleep. Mikoto, still astonished by the new information, thinks for a while before falling asleep as well. Bit more than 2 years later. Today is Naruto and Sasuke's 5th birthday. During the past 2 years, they both have never left the Uchiha compound under the order of their parents. Every night before bed, both Naruto and Sasuke would spend 2 to 3 hours doing different bodyweight exercises. Now, they were extremely fit for their age. They had enough strength to match people who were 7 years old. Whee! Yells the two boys as they run down the stairs heading to Mikoto and Fugaku's room. Wake up! Wake up! Shouts Naruto and Sasuke while nudging their parents awake. What's the matter, kids? Asks of tired Fugaku due to all the paperwork Fugaku did the previous night. Today is our 5th birthday, and you promised to train us when we turn 5, answers Naruto in an excitement. Yeah, what are you going to teach us? Is it ninjutsu? Is it genjutsu? Or how to awaken our clan dojutsu? Asks Sasuke. Oh yeah, answers Fugaku, remembering his promise to his two sons. After realizing his two sons were asking for him to train, Fugaku immediately felt invigorated and sat up. Since you kids want to train so bad, meet me at the Uchiha training ground in 20 minutes, and don't be late, says Fugaku as he gets out of bed. Naruto and Sasuke, both extremely excited, sprints upstairs to get themselves ready. They both put on their fitness clothing, t-shirts and shorts, then gathered some snacks from the kitchen and left for the training ground. On their way, the two brothers chomped down on their snacks to fuel themselves for the incoming training. In about 10 minutes of non-stop running, they finally arrived.
Oh my, we really need to work on our cardio. Just honing our muscles and strength isn't enough, says Naruto, panting like a senior. I totally agree. We should make a schedule once we get home. And maybe some strength and power training on even days and cardio and speed on odd days, replies Sasuke. Yeah, you're right. Having a schedule like that would be great. Hey, what do you know? We are 3 minutes early. Let's warm up, says Naruto. For the next 3 minutes, both Naruto and Sasuke do some basic warm-up techniques like jumping jacks and tuck jumps. Once the 3 minutes passed, they stopped and walked around the way area, waiting for Fugaku to arrive. Do you think that is going to be late? Asks Naruto while walking around. Maybe he might have encountered an Uchiha member in need. I mean, he is the Uchiha clan chief. We should just wait, replies Sasuke. After about 1 to 2 minutes of extra waiting, an old lady arrives. Hey, you boys. I see you're both early, says the unfamiliar elder. Hey, Grams, have you seen Uchiha Fugaku? We have been waiting for him, asks Naruto. Oh, yes, I have seen him. He will be here right now, answers the elderly woman with a wicked smile. In a puff of smoke, the elderly woman's form transformed into a well-built familiar man, the one and only Uchiha Fugaku. What? Yells both Naruto and Sasuke. How did you do that? Asks Sasuke. Please tell me that's what you're going to teach us, begs Naruto. Nope, this isn't a jutsu for me to teach. This is something you're going to learn at the academy, so I will be teaching you this, says Fugaku as he starts forming hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu, says Fugaku as a torrent of fire comes out of his mouth. Whoa, says both Naruto and Sasuke with their jaws hitting the ground. That's so cool! I'll be able to destroy anyone with a move like that, screams Naruto. I know, right? That thing's so powerful, adds Sasuke. Whoa, slow down with the comments. What I just showed you is only the most basic fire style jutsu. And also, any form of ninjutsu for you kids right now is out of your league. Today, I will only explain to you the uses of chakra and chakra natures, says Fugaku. Aww, when will we be able to use that? Complains Naruto. I would say if you both are very talented by the end of the year, answers Fugaku. How long did Big Brother Itachi take? Asks Sasuke. Itachi mastered the jutsu on his first try, but I want to take a different approach with you two. Before you kids learn the jutsu, I want to teach you about chakra control and the different uses of chakra, answered Fugaku. Trusting that their father would want the best for them, Naruto and Sasuke complied with their father's orders and listened carefully. After teaching Naruto and Sasuke about chakra and the importance of chakra control, Fugaku decides to test them on their respective chakra natures. Naruto's piece of paper, after infusing with chakra, split in half and started burning, signifying he has chakra affiliated with fire and wind. Sasuke's piece of paper crumpled, then burned, meaning he has lightning and fire chakra natures. Naruto, it seems that you have an affiliation with fire and wind, whereas Sasuke has affiliation with fire and lightning. That is something very impressive, especially at your age. Congratulates Fugaku. Yeah, I knew I was awesome. Believe it, yells Naruto. You know, Naruto, I'm just as good as you, says Sasuke with a prideful smirk. Okay, now that both you kids know about your respective chakra natures and the basic principles of chakra, I will end today's lesson with a chakra control technique. This chakra control technique is called the leaf concentration technique. As you already know, chakra is created by fusing spiritual energy with your physical energy. And since you kids have already been doing physical exercises, your physical energy is already on point. Now, all you need to do is work on your spiritual energy, and this is done with this exercise. What you do is you place a leaf atop your forehead and try to focus and not move so the leaf does not fall off. This will greatly improve your focus and in turn will help you advance your spiritual energy. Remember to practice at home. I will check up on both of your progress in a week's time. By then, I expect both of you to be able to have the leaf on your forehead for 10 minutes straight. Is that understood? Asked Fugaku. Yes, father, replies both Naruto and Sasuke. Good. I'll be heading back now. You kids may stay here for as long as you want to practice. See you at home, Fugaku says as he leaves the area. Excited and full of energy, Naruto and Sasuke immediately start their training.
From early 8 a.m. to late 2 p.m., our protagonists train non-stop, sitting in one position with a leaf on their heads. Grrr, Naruto's stomach rumbles. Hey Sasuke, I'm getting hungry and I can't focus well. What about you? Asks Naruto. Me too, I'm feeling a bit hungry as well. Let's head home, replies Sasuke. After hearing this, Naruto immediately jumps up and starts running home. Race you back, says Naruto as he's in a full sprint. You cheater, yells Sasuke as he also starts heading back. At home. After about 10 minutes of running, Naruto and Sasuke finally arrive home. The two kids then quickly enter the kitchen in search for the leftovers from lunch, which they missed. During their way home, Naruto and Sasuke also decided that they should finish and replenishing their energy ASAP so they could resume with their training. Looking through the fridge, the two boys found Mikoto's signature dish, the Uchiha ramen. With drool dripping from their mouths, they quickly reheat the pan of ramen and split it between themselves. After a delicious and rejuvenating meal, Naruto and Sasuke decide to head back to the training ground and continue their leaf concentration training. Since they just finished eating and were on a full stomach, Naruto and Sasuke walked their way to the training ground while chatting. So Sasuke, let's finalize our training schedule right now, suggests Naruto. Sure, replies Sasuke. I think we should do strength training on Mondays and Thursdays, cardio and agility on Tuesdays and Fridays, and chakra training on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We will leave Sundays for rest and recuperation, says Sasuke. That sounds like a great plan. We will become powerhouses in no time, celebrates Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke then talk about different training exercises they could do, and discuss their future accomplishments. Naruto and Sasuke both say they want to become the most powerful ninja and the most respected one. In about 20 minutes, our boys once again arrive at the training grounds. For the next 4 hours, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., Naruto and Sasuke continuously trained their spiritual energy until they both could fully keep the leaf atop their heads for 10 minutes. Proud of their quick accomplishment, the two boys decide to head home once again to end the day. On their way home, they meet Itachi walking and smiling with another guy. Big brother, greets the two children as both of them approach Itachi. Once Naruto and Sasuke reach Itachi, they both embrace Itachi in a big hug. Heh, your younger brothers are pretty cute, says Shisui. Who are you calling cute? I'm going to become the strongest ninja along with Sasuke, says Naruto in a grumpy tone. Yeah, me and Naruto are going to become the strongest there is, adds Sasuke. Naruto, Sasuke, let me introduce you to him. This person's name is Shisui Uchiha, and he is said to be the Uchiha with the greatest potential, says Itachi. What? No, Big Brother is the best. No way another Uchiha is better than Big Brother. Big Brother Itachi, you must beat him up, examines Sasuke. Yeah, Big Brother is the best, adds Naruto. Shisui is now in an awkward situation. Both brothers of Itachi are giving him an awful glare and seems to be very angry that he is stronger than Itachi. Naruto, Sasuke, that is no way to treat someone like Shisui. He is an Uchiha prodigy, but he is also a great friend of mine as well as a teacher, says Itachi with a bit of anger in his voice. Naruto and Sasuke, who have never before seen Itachi show aggression, decided to back off from the subject. Both of them then let go of Itachi's hand and backed off with their eyes dripping some tears. Seeing what happened, Itachi immediately feels bad and tries to think of a way to calm his two brothers down, until Shisui cuts in. Hey, didn't you kids say you wanted to become the strongest ninja? How about me and Itachi teach you guys some cool techniques? Asks Shisui in a happy tone. Immediately, the frowns on Naruto and Sasuke's face turn into a smile. Really? Asks Naruto and Sasuke in an extremely excited tone. Yeah, really. Tomorrow morning, Itachi and I will bring you two together to train and teach you both something really cool, answered Shisui with a smile. Awesome! Screams both Naruto and Sasuke as they quickly go back to their rooms, readying themselves for tomorrow. You're really good with kids, says Itachi. Even better than me, and they're my brothers, Itachi adds. Well, with age comes experience. I guess this is it for today. See you tomorrow at the training ground then, says Shisui as he leaves for home himself. 2 minutes later, Naruto and Sasuke, after being promised to be trained by Shisui and Itachi tomorrow, decide that they should rest up extra well. Quickly entering the house, the two boys entered the kitchen to see the dinner table already set up. After scarfing down their share of food, they quickly go upstairs, took a shower, and went to bed, fantasizing what they would learn tomorrow. 5 a.m. in the morning the next day. Itachi, in his room enjoying his well-deserved sleep, gets woken up by Naruto and Sasuke jumping up and down on his bed. Come on, big brother, it's time to train, Naruto shouts as he continues to pester Itachi. Yeah, you promised you'd train us, now let's go, Sasuke added while poking Itachi's back. Itachi, having slept at 12 a.m. the last night, is really confused and tired. What? You want to train now? It's 5 in the morning, Itachi complains as he attempts to adjust his eyes to the light. Once adjusted, Itachi sees the cute begging faces of Naruto and Sasuke and just couldn't resist their offer. Okay, I'll train you, but first, we need to eat breakfast. You can't train on an empty stomach, Itachi says as he gets out of bed. After hearing about having to eat breakfast, Naruto and Sasuke groan. Aww, what about training? Naruto complains. Yeah, we're not Sasuke adds before being cut off by both his and Naruto's stomach growling. Not hungry? Yeah, I totally believe you. Itachi replies sarcastically. You two should go sit at a table and I'll make breakfast. Naruto and Sasuke, sad that they must eat before training, follow Itachi to the kitchen and sit down while Itachi gathers ingredients for what he was about to cook. 15 minutes later, here you go, Itachi says as he hands over 2 bowls of ramen to Naruto and Sasuke, who are lying on the ground out of hunger. Finally, Naruto and Sasuke say in unison, pulling the chairs back up and start scarfing down the food. Hey, you two, eat slower. When you eat fast, it puts extra strain on your body and this will affect your training, warns Itachi as he slurps down another mouthful of ramen. This is delicious, Naruto says with a mouthful of ramen. It tastes just as good as mom's, Sasuke agrees. Thank you, but remember to not talk while you have food in your mouth. It is bad manners, and you might choke, Itachi replies. This is my personal recipe for ramen. Once they finish their breakfast, Naruto, Sasuke, and Itachi leave the house. Naruto and Sasuke, excited to train, rush in the direction of the Uchiha training grounds. Whoa, hold on, I never said that's where we are going to train, Itachi says as Naruto and Sasuke get further away. Wait, what? Are we training at the Uchiha training grounds? Asks Naruto. Nope, we are training somewhere else. Now follow me, answers Itachi as he turns the other direction. Naruto and Sasuke, now confused and curious as to what they're going to learn and where, asks Itachi. So, what are we going to learn today? Asks Naruto as he is holding Itachi's left hand while Sasuke is holding his right. How to shoot a fireball? Sasuke adds as he creates the motion of a fireball jutsu. How to transform? Naruto adds again as he intimidates Fugaku's elderly woman appearance. Nope, and nope. Today, you two are going to learn the art of shurikens, Itachi replies, making Sasuke and Naruto groan in disappointment. Oh man, that's so lame. Anybody can throw a shuriken, Naruto complains as he kicks the ground. And where are we going anyway? We have been walking forever, complains Naruto. Well, Naruto, we are heading to the forest to train. And also, don't look down on shurikens. They can be very useful when you're out of chakra or when you're testing an opponent's abilities. On top of this shuriken technique I'm about to teach you isn't just any shuriken technique. It's a technique unique to the Uchihas, replies Itachi. Wow, that's really cool, says Sasuke. Yeah, now I totally want to learn this, adds Naruto. Good. Now wait patiently until we get there, replies Itachi. Inside of the forest. After a quiet and calm stroll to the forest, Naruto and Sasuke with all their pent-up energy finally get to release it. Big brother Itachi, watch this, says Naruto as he sloppily throws a rock knocking off a branch from a tree. See, big brother? I already know how to throw a shuriken, boasts Naruto. Naruto, your throw right now can only be considered amateur for your age. First of all, throwing a rock is much easier than throwing a shuriken. The rock you just threw was round, which means throwing it in any way will be sufficient, while a shuriken on the other hand may be tilted when thrown. This leads to my second point on how shurikens, unlike rocks, can change directions depending on how you throw it. This change in trajectory can be done depending on the spin you put on the shuriken and how it's tilted when thrown. If the shuriken technique is mastered properly, you may even hit enemies behind an object, and this is what I'm going to teach you guys, explains Itachi. Now, before we start, observe this first demonstration, Itachi says, as he picks up his own rock and throws it at a branch, ricocheting off a dozen other branches, knocking off each one. Whoa! Naruto and Sasuke fantasize. You see, when you train your skills with shuriken or kunai, you're also training your precision and your eyesight. These attributes are extremely important when you become a shinobi. We will first start with rock throwing as it is much easier, Itachi adds. After this demonstration, Naruto and Sasuke no longer fooled around and started training under Itachi's instruction. For about 3 to 4 hours, the boys trained non-stop with Itachi by their sides, critiquing each and every move. By the end of these long hours of training, both Naruto and Sasuke could at least ricochet the rock 4 times, each with 100% accuracy. Okay, Naruto and Sasuke, time to take a break. This will mark the end of today's lesson. By next time, I expect both of you to be able to ricochet a rock at least 12 times, says Itachi. He then looks up into the trees and adds, Shisui, that should be enough observing. Now it's our time to train. Realizing that he has been exposed, Shisui felt no point in continuing to hide, and jumped off from the tree. I just didn't want to interfere with you guys training, replies Shisui. Wait, did Brother Itachi say it's time for him to train? Naruto asks Sasuke. Yeah, that's what I heard as well, answers Sasuke. Can we watch you train? Please? Begs both Naruto and Sasuke. I'm sorry, you can't. You kids might be hurt or get caught in crossfire. I've already trained with you for 4 hours. You kids need to head home, or Mom and Dad will be worried, answers Itachi. Aww, says both Naruto and Sasuke with a sad face. It's fine, Itachi. I'll make sure they don't get hurt. This can count as my part of training them, says Shisui. Yay! Senior Shisui is the best! Yells both Naruto and Sasuke. Itachi, hearing Shisui's offer, shows an unreadable face full of mixed emotion, then hesitantly agrees. Now that things are settled, let's start, says Shisui. Finishing the plans for the immediate future, our 4 Uchihas then commence the setup for the spar. After taking full precautions so Naruto and Sasuke won't be hurt, Shisui and Itachi get ready for the battle. They then both separate from each other, leaving about a 10-meter gap between them. After getting in a ready position, immediately the two activate their 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto and Sasuke, this is our clan's unique ability, the Sharingan, reminds Shisui, having his face turned towards 2 children. Wow, that's so cool, replies both Naruto and Sasuke. In that fraction of a second, Itachi appears behind Shisui with his kunai ready for a fatal blow. Now, Shisui, just because you're tutoring my brothers doesn't mean that I won't take advantage of such a flaw, says Itachi in the middle of thrusting his kunai. In a quick body flicker, Shisui disappears from a spot and reappears somewhere safe. Oh, Itachi, I'm not called Shisui of the body flicker for nothing. Slow moves like that will never reach me, taunts Shisui. Huh, I'm just getting warmed up, replies Itachi, turning himself towards Shisui, then in a flash throws a dozen shurikens. Each shuriken Itachi threw were perfectly planned, with a few of them used as a ricochet platform for other shurikens. Shisui, unable to accurately predict the direction of the traveling shurikens, had to resort to deflecting each one with the kunai in his hand. After a wave of shurikens ended, a burning fireball came crashing towards him. Having spent most of his time deflecting the shurikens, Shisui had no time to dodge the incoming fireball. Under this predicament, Shisui was forced to fire a weak fireball of his own to weaken the incoming fireball's power. A cloud of smoke then covered Shisui's position. Big Brother is awesome! Shouted Sasuke in awe. Yeah, Big Brother's the best! Cheers Naruto, raising his fists in the air. Not yet, Itachi replies, standing in another ready position with a kunai in hand. Soon, a black silhouette can be seen from the smoke, and almost immediately, it disappeared, and a kunai can be seen by Itachi's neck. Good job, Itachi. This time, you actually ended up injuring me, compliments Shisui. But sadly, this performance won't be enough, adds Shisui, as he removes his kunai from Itachi's neck. I lost again, Itachi sulks. It's fine. This time you actually burned me to some degree, even if it was just small. You're getting better by the day, comforts Shisui, patting Itachi on the back. Naruto and Sasuke, having never seen their brother lose, were completely shocked. What do you mean you lost again, big brother? Asks Sasuke in confusion. Don't tell me you lost last time as well, asks Naruto. No, Naruto, I didn't just lose last time. I lost all the time when practicing with senior Shisui. He isn't known as the strongest of the young generation for nothing. Not only is Shisui the strongest Uchiha, he is also the strongest in the whole village within the younger generation, compliments Itachi, looking at Sasuke and Naruto with extremely shocked faces. Oh, you don't need to put it that blankly. I'm not that good, Shisui says, looking a bit embarrassed. Itachi, looking back at Shisui with a smile, starts instructing Naruto and Sasuke to head home. After a few minutes of complaining to want to train more, the two kids finally give in and agree to head home. Before leaving, Itachi instructs the two boys to practice frequently as he will check in with them the following week. Understanding the power difference between themselves with Itachi and Shisui, Naruto and Sasuke head home with greater determination to train. A few minutes after Naruto and Sasuke left, Shisui says, "You know, Itachi, I'm really jealous of you, having such a loving family along with two bright younger siblings who look up to you so much. That's the family I've always wanted." "Yeah, I am one lucky person. I will do anything to protect those two. They are everything to me. And you, of course," Itachi replies. "Oh, well thanks," Shisui says, looking at Itachi with a joyful smile. "Now, let's start our real training," says Itachi. Back at the Uchiha compound, after yielding to Itachi's decision of returning home, Naruto and Sasuke leave the forest after witnessing that incredible spar. On their way back, the two training freaks start discussing every detail they saw from the spar and agree to mimic the moves when they train in the afternoon. After a timely walk back home, they finally arrive at the front door. Opening the door, the two boys saw Mikoto and Fugaku sitting beside a table, waiting patiently for them to come home. "Mom, Dad, we're sorry for being out too long," Sasuke apologizes, before Fugaku could even start chewing them out. "It's okay. Next time just tell us when you're going to train early in the morning," Fugaku answers. "So you're allowing us to train early?" asks Naruto. "It should be fine, as long as you guys don't leave the Uchiha compound, and make sure you get at least 10 hours of sleep every night," answers Fugaku. "Awesome!" shouts both Naruto and Sasuke. After hearing the awesome news, the two boys then leave upstairs to ready themselves for the afternoon training session. Changing into their shorts and t-shirts, the two boys then leave home for the Uchiha training ground. The rest of the day happened as normal, with the two boys training for most of the day and coming home for lunch and dinner. They slept at 8 p.m. that night, awaiting for tomorrow's awesome day of training. Bit more than 1 year later, Naruto and Sasuke would train every day for the past year, working on their jutsu taught by Fugaku and mastering the art of Shuriken taught by Itachi. Each week, they would have a check-in with their two instructors/family and fully complete their homework. They would also do physical conditioning at home to hone their muscles and their senses. As of now, they have reached the age of 8, which means they will start attending the civilian academy, and today is their first day. "Naruto, Sasuke, it's time to wake up," Mikoto yells from the kitchen. "If you don't, you'll be late for school." This reminder caught Naruto and Sasuke's attention, and swiftly, both of them left off their individual beds. "Wait, what? We're going to be late for school? Quick, Naruto, we need to prepare ourselves," yells Sasuke. "Yeah, I know," replies Naruto. After this exchange, they quickly changed out of their PJs and put on their actual clothing. While one of them was brushing their teeth, the other would pack his bag. When both of them finished doing their preparations, the two boys then quickly rushed out of the room and scarfed down their breakfast. "Hey, why are you in such a hurry?" Mikoto asks. We're going to be late for school?" Naruto answers. "Didn't you say that we're going to be late for school?" Yeah, I kind of said that so you two would wake up," Mikoto replies. "Wait, what? Why would you do that?" asks Sasuke. "Well, it was because if you two were to stay asleep any longer, the food would have gone cold. Anyway, I just wanted to ask if you guys want to go without lunch," Mikoto replies, holding up 2 bags. "Oh, thanks, we wouldn't want to go without lunch," Naruto says, grabbing both bags and handing one over to Sasuke. "Now, get going, or you will actually be late. Also, come home immediately after school, is that understood?" asks Mikoto in a serious tone. "Yeah, okay, we will. Time to go. Bye-bye," Naruto says as he backs out of the house with Sasuke. "Come on, Sasuke, let's go. Race you there," Naruto adds as he starts running. "You're not gonna beat me," Sasuke says back as he charges towards Naruto. At the academy. "So this is the academy," Naruto chokes out as he's out of breath, looking at the magnificently huge building. "Yeah, this thing's huge," Sasuke replies, in the same state as Naruto. "Well, don't you think it's time to go in?" Naruto asks as he regains his posture. "Yeah, Mom did say we would be late, so we should start looking for it," Sasuke answers. "Yeah," Naruto nods. The two boys then both burst open the doors and rush into the main hallway. In the main hallway, the boys start looking for their classroom. After navigating through the long hallways for a few minutes, they finally found it. "Naruto, over here! Here's our homeroom!" shouts Sasuke, pointing at room E5. Naruto and Sasuke, after searching for an annoying amount of time, rushed through the door, entering the class, right when the teacher was calling attendance. "Naruto and Sasuke?" calls the teacher. "Here," answers the two Uchihas. "Okay, got it. So you are Uchiha Naruto, and you are Uchiha Sasuke, right?" asks a grown man at the front of the room. "Yeah, and your name is?" Sasuke starts, before drifting off main sentence. "Call me Iruka-sensei," replies Iruka, with a bright smile. "Now, Why don't you both sit down and join the class? Got it, Naruto and Sasuke say simultaneously as they find their seats. For the rest of the day, Naruto and Sasuke will learn a few things like math, writing, and some brief history of the village. 3:30 outside of the academy. After school ended, Naruto and Sasuke rushed out the door relieved that class was finally over. Ugh, that was so boring, Naruto groans. Yeah, but this is all the essentials to becoming a shinobi, right? Sasuke replies, trying to find the reason in his own voice. Whatever, let's head back home, Naruto says as he speeds up because rain was starting to fall. Race you there! Hey, wait! This isn't fair! You have a head start again! Sasuke complains as he chases after Naruto. Back at the Uchiha compound. So, how was the academy? Mikoto asks as she opens the door for Naruto and Sasuke, who are both half drenched in rain. It was so boring, Naruto examines out loud. I could barely even stay awake, adds Naruto. Yeah, I thought the academy was about making you strong and teaching you super cool jutsu, Sasuke pipes in. Yes, it is boring, but these classes are essential. For example, if you don't pass this, you can never become a shinobi, Mikoto warns them. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to take a shower. I'm drenched, Naruto says as he heads up for the shower. I'm next, Sasuke adds, following Naruto upstairs. 30 minutes later. Phew, that was refreshing, Naruto sighs. Sasuke nods in agreement. Naruto, Sasuke, can you come over and help me with dinner? Mikoto asks the two kids. Okay, coming, Naruto and Sasuke say, running towards the kitchen to aid their mother at cooking. Thanks, you two. Usually Itachi would be home by now and we'd be making dinner together, but he was caught out on a mission this morning and has yet to come back. Thank God I have you two to help, Mikoto adds. Mikoto, with the help of Naruto and Sasuke, was able to quickly finish preparing dinner. As they finished setting up the table and were about to start eating, Fugaku came home and joined them. They were later joined by Itachi, who had finished his mission. After finishing dinner, they all brushed their teeth and went to sleep, including Naruto and Sasuke's first day at the academy started. 5 months later. The past few months went relatively well. The two boys started paying a lot more attention during school and were absorbing the knowledge like a sponge. Every day after school, they would head home first to drop off their things, then immediately go train. They would train from 3 all the way to dinner time, which was at 7. When they arrived home, the two boys would go shower before coming down for dinner. This schedule stayed the same for about half a year until Naruto decided to do something different. A few dozen meters away from the academy. Can't the academy teach us anything interesting? Naruto sighs as he continues to run through the forest. Yeah, this stuff is boring, but until we can move on to the cool stuff, we'll just have to tough it out, Sasuke reminds Naruto as he catches up. Anyway, it's almost time for school to start. We better hurry, adds Sasuke, as he thinks back to what Mikoto told them this morning. Flashback to the morning a few minutes prior. Naruto, Sasuke, remember to come home immediately after school ends, Mikoto reminds them while handing them their lunch. But Mom, you always tell us to do this, but you never tell us why. We want to know why you tell us to come home after school, Sasuke questions. My dear Sasuke, this isn't something for me to say right now. Just go to school, Mikoto says. End of flashback. Hey Sasuke, you want to go train and skip school? Naruto says, breaking off Sasuke's train of thought. What? Do you not remember what Mom said this morning? She said that we must go home immediately after school ends, says Sasuke. Yeah, but she never said to not go anywhere during school time. She told us to head home after school ended, and that's what we are going to do, says Naruto with a sly smile. And Sasuke, this will only be a one-time thing. We already know most of the things the academy is teaching, so skipping one day of school won't be detrimental, adds Naruto, trying to convince Sasuke. Okay fine, but just this once. Sasuke compromises, remembering how long it's been since they've trained for the whole day. So, where do we train? Asks Sasuke. I feel this place is perfect. Right in the middle of the woods. Nobody would find us, says Naruto. After agreeing on skipping school to train in the woods, the two boys then take off their backpacks and get ready. You know, it's been like forever since we sparred, Sasuke reminds Naruto as he charges at him. Yeah, I know, Naruto replies as he dodges the attack thrown by Sasuke and throws a counterpunch back at him. Under the shade of the trees, Naruto and Sasuke continue to fight, throwing punches, dodging, parrying, and more. 5 hours later, after sparring with each other non-stop for 5 whole hours skipping school, Naruto and Sasuke decide to rest a bit before heading back home. That was great, says Naruto, breathing heavily with sweat dropping from his head. Yeah, it's been such a long time since we had such a good training session, adds Sasuke.
Hey Sasuke, since we have around another hour left until school ends, how about we stroll around the village? Suggests Naruto. You really think that's a good idea? Didn't Mom specifically say to not go into the village? That's the whole reason why we take the forest route even though it's longer, replied Sasuke. Yeah, I know, but we sort of have already broken one of her rules. We might as well break another. As long as she doesn't know, we should be fine. And don't tell me you're not curious as to what the village looks like, asks Naruto. I guess you're right, but only this one time, says Sasuke. The two boys, after cooling down from their extreme spar, head in the direction of the village streets. After arriving at the village streets, Naruto and Sasuke start enjoying the difference in scenery. After about 5 minutes of strolling, Naruto sees something. Hey Sasuke, look, what's happening over there? Asks Naruto, pointing in a certain direction. Let's go check it out, Sasuke suggests as he runs over to where Naruto was pointing. After running over, the two boys then see a group of boys bullying a young girl. The group of boys were insulting the girl for her snow white eyes and tossing her scarf around even though the girl wanted nothing to do with them. Those kids are despicable. Hey Naruto, let's go teach them a... Hey, what? Where are you? Asks Sasuke as he looks for Naruto. Naruto, unable to stand and watch the bullying, had already started taking out the bullies. Aw, you could have at least waited for me, Sasuke complains as he jumps in to join Naruto. You give her back her scarf, Naruto says as he kicks the ringleader. Yeah, you stupid bullies, Sasuke adds as he dodges a punch from a bully. Ha, sloppy punch, Sasuke says as he dodges two other kids charging at him, making them smash into each other. A few quick seconds later, all the bullies were on the ground unable to move. Finished dealing with the bullies, both Naruto and Sasuke rushed to the girl's side with Naruto holding the girl's scarf. Here's your scarf, Naruto says with a bright smile. Thanks. What are your names? Asks the girl, blushing a bit after taking back her scarf. My name's Uchiha Naruto, replies Naruto. And my name is Uchiha Sasuke, adds Sasuke. What's your name? Asks Naruto, a bit curious. But before the girl could reply, all of a sudden, a man with similar eyes to her came out screaming. Lady Hinata! I've searched everywhere for you! Where have you been? The man asked before stopping in his tracks after seeing Naruto. That's Naruto, the demon child! Why is he with Lady Hinata? And why are there children on the ground? Was he trying to bully Lady Hinata with his twin brother? I would destroy him if he wasn't part of the Uchiha clan. It pains me that I can't take care of such a bully, the man thinks. Listen, Lady Hinata should leave. And you Uchihas, especially you, demon, don't dare to come close to Miss Hinata again. I'm leaving you off this time with a warning, says the man with distaste in his mouth. But they were the ones that, Hinata started, before being cut off by the man. Listen, Lady Hinata, your father is worried about you. You need to come home immediately. Now let's go. I always thought those kids would have been stronger. I barely even broke a sweat, Sasuke says as he starts walking away. Come on, Naruto. What are you waiting for? Are you okay? Asks Sasuke. Did you hear him? He called me a demon, says Naruto, remembering what happened a few years ago at the park. Naruto, do you need to talk to someone? I'm always open to talk, but if you need, I can get Mom, says Sasuke, now a bit worried. It's okay. I wouldn't want Mom to know about us skipping school. Let's just head home, replies Naruto, regaining his composure. Back at the Uchiha compound. After tracing back their steps, Naruto and Sasuke find their way back to the Uchiha compound, and they arrive home just in time. Hey Mom, we are back, alerts Sasuke as he and Naruto enter the house. Okay, how did school go? Asks Mikoto. Oh, it went well, just the usual, answered Naruto. Anyway, me and Sasuke are going to go take a shower now, so bye-bye, adds Naruto as he quickly goes upstairs. Oh, those kids, always having something to do, says Mikoto under her breath. 30 minutes later. Man, that was refreshing, Naruto says out loud. Yeah, nothing feels better than a hot bath after a good training session, Sasuke agrees. After their bath, the two boys then walk downstairs to see both Itachi and Fugaku walking in with Mikoto greeting them. Itachi! Naruto and Sasuke shout as they rush over to his side. So, can you train with us tomorrow? Ask Naruto and Sasuke. Sorry guys, I have another mission tomorrow, but I still have time to do our weekly check-in on the weekends, answered Itachi. Aww, that sucks, says Naruto and Sasuke. Well, that's all water under the bridge. Dinner's going to be ready in a few hours, so Itachi, you can train with the boys now, suggests Mikoto. Yeah, agrees Naruto and Sasuke. Okay, fine, but this time it's going to be really short cause I still need to take a shower before dinner, replies Itachi. Since Itachi's going, I'll just stay home and help mom, adds Fugaku. Fine, whatever, let's go, shouts Naruto and Sasuke as they rush out the house. After about 3 hours of extra shuriken training with Itachi, the two children then head home for dinner. After arriving back home, Itachi along with Naruto and Sasuke took another shower, then joined Mikoto and Fugaku for dinner. The whole family had a great time at dinner. Itachi shared his stories while he was on his missions, making Naruto and Sasuke's eyes sparkle in excitement. After dinner, they each went back to their own rooms and went to sleep. Man, I can't wait for when we become shinobi, Naruto says as he jumps on his bed. Ugh, this is impossible, he complains. Huh? What do you mean? Sasuke asks, confused. Well, it's only been a few months since we began the academy, but it feels like it's been forever. We still have another 5 years of the academy left until we become real ninja, and I just don't think I can last that long, Naruto complains. Yeah, I know what you mean, Sasuke says, leaving an awkward silence. Anyway, let's just go to sleep. We can't become good shinobi if we don't get enough sleep. Yes, got it, Naruto replies. After this, they both go close the lights. Good night, Sasuke. Good night, Naruto, Sasuke replies as he closes his eyes. 3 years later at the academy training grounds. It has been over 3.5 years since Naruto and Sasuke joined the academy. They have now turned the age of 9 and a lot has happened during this time. Both Naruto and Sasuke, under the instruction of Fugaku and Itachi, have fully mastered the fireball jutsu, and although Sasuke mastered it a lot sooner, they are both extremely good at it. They also have mastered the art of shurikens. They can now blow a 2-meter wide fireball with ease and accurately hit bullseyes with targets 10 meters away. During this time, Naruto and Sasuke also graduated from the civilian academy at the top of their class and were awarded Students of the Year at the ceremony. Even at the Ninja Academy, Naruto and Sasuke were the best of the best. After attending the Ninja Academy for only half a year, the two Uchihas were soon known as the best prodigies for their age, even though their class of ninja consisted of all the heirs to the major clans. They were also both given the title of the Sharingan twins due to their extreme talent. In a short amount of time, the names of Uchiha Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke were known by all the ninja in the Hidden Leaf. In the academy, the two children had avid fangirls going head over heels for them. Sasuke, with his cool attitude, didn't care much, but Naruto, with his extremely boastful and enthusiastic personality, couldn't get enough of it. Even so, Naruto did not allow the girls to get in his head, and he still heavily focused on training with Sasuke during their spare time. Okay class, today you will be asked to complete a series of tasks predetermined by the academy. This will be like a mid-year assessment so we can see where everyone is and if you have improved or not. At the end, you will get marked on all your ninja skills and be ranked accordingly. After assessing your scores, we will be able to determine what skills each of you need to work on for the rest of the year, Iruka-sensei says as he takes out a clipboard.
So this is just to see what we're bad at so we can know what to improve on, correct?
A brown-haired kid clarifies. Yes, that is correct, Iruka-sensei confirms. Now, back on what we were talking about. The first thing you students will be tested on will be your skills with a shuriken and a kunai. Now line up to determine the order of assessment. After being given instructions by Iruka, the students at the academy lined up in a straight line directly in front of 20 circular targets, all facing them 10 meters away. The students, eager to test their skills, started chatting amongst themselves while the students at the front threw 20 shurikens one at a time, each aimed at one target. Some missed and some scored, but none of them got perfect points. Okay, 14 out of 20 targets. That's pretty good, Iruka-sensei praises, as he marks down the mark on his paper. Next, Iruka calls out. Yes, it's finally my turn, Naruto yells as he runs up and picks up the shurikens. Okay, Naruto, throw your first shuriken. No need, Iruka-sensei. I'll throw all 20 shurikens at the same time, replies Naruto with a proud smirk, and I will hit all the targets. Believe it, shouts Naruto. Naruto then proceeds to hold 10 shurikens in each hand, with both his hands now crossed in an X shape. Naruto then extends his arms while releasing the shurikens in a fluid motion. All 20 shurikens go flying out of his hand, each landing on their respective targets in one loud thunk. Wow! 20 out of 20!
That's amazing, Iruka-sensei praises as he marks it down.
Squeal! That X-shaped arm position is so cool! Naruto's awesome! The army of fangirls squeals.
Next person, Iruka-sensei calls out after finishing marking down Naruto's score. Heh, I'm going to do better than you, Naruto. Just watch, Sasuke says, mocking Naruto as he passes him. Sasuke, arriving at the position, picks up all 20 shurikens, 10 in each hand, and proceeds to do the X-shaped position Naruto made. He then throws the shurikens, but unlike Naruto, where each shuriken after being released went straight for their targets, Sasuke's shurikens ricocheted off each other and landed on the targets. Oh my god! Another 20 targets out of 20, but with the ricochet! Unbelievable, Sasuke! You even beat the 20 out of 20 threshold! Iruka-sensei calls out. Hey Naruto, can you do that? Sasuke says smugly. Oh, lay it off, Naruto says, jokingly as he slaps Sasuke in the back. Sasuke, you're amazing as well! Another group of fangirls shouts. Okay, now that all of you have been tested on your shuriken skills, we will move on to the spars. Pair up. Whoever you choose shall be your opponent for the spar, Iruka-sensei says to the class. The moment Iruka finished, all the students in class separated from Naruto and Sasuke and trying to find appropriate partners. Naruto and Sasuke, being isolated together, decide to choose each other even though they spar every day. Who wants to go first? Iruka-sensei asks. We'll do it, Naruto calls out as he pulls Sasuke to the fighting grounds. While both Naruto and Sasuke walk forward to the stadium, ear-piercing cheers can be heard from the fangirls. Go Sasuke! Yells a group of girls. Go Naruto! Yells another group of girls. Each time a group cheered, the other group tried to cheer louder. This created an infinite cycle of loud noises. Okay, you two, remember no crippling strikes, no killing intent. This is only just a spar. Understood? Iruka-sensei screams, hoping Naruto and Sasuke can hear him. Knowing that he can't match the dozens of girls, Iruka-sensei decides to just start the fight. Begin! The moment Iruka announces the start of the fight, the fangirls quit screaming, not wanting to disrupt their idols' fight. At the stadium, both Naruto and Sasuke immediately jump forward, smashing their elbows against each other's. After Naruto and Sasuke determined they were both equal in strength, they decide to leap back to gain some distance. After backing up about 5 meters each, Naruto and Sasuke start forming hand signs in a quick succession. Fire style, fireball jutsu, Naruto and Sasuke blew out simultaneously. 2 huge turrets of fire could be seen coming from both Naruto and Sasuke's mouth. The fireball they shot at each other covered the whole arena. After the fireball dissipated, they charged at each other and engaged in a rapid taijutsu battle. Both Naruto and Sasuke were exhausted by this long fight and had a great amount of sweat running down their faces, both unable to rise over the other. During the fight, although Sasuke had an advantage in speed and agility, Naruto made up for that with his superior strength and stamina. These factors seemed to completely counter out the other. Standing in place, Naruto and Sasuke breathed heavily and decided to throw one last attack before they could. Time! Yelled Iruka. That was really an impressive spar, you two. Just that fireball jutsu alone at the start could have both earned you full marks. Now we must stop the fight because the other students still need time for theirs. You two may sit back down and rest now, Iruka said. I guess we took it too far again, huh, Sasuke? Says Naruto, making his way back to the seating area. Yeah, replies Sasuke as he follows Naruto, making space for the next pair to practice. Hours later. Okay, today, each and every one of you has shown impressive skills as first-year students, with Naruto and Sasuke performing exceptionally. I would like to say that everyone did an extremely well job and that I saw great talent today. I would like everyone to train really hard and improve your skills even further. If you can't do that, I'm sure all of you can become splendid shinobis and kunoichis. Alright, that will mark the end of today's class. Class dismissed, Iruka-sensei announces to the tired heap of students. 3 months later, April 30th, in an underground facility. You summon us, my lord? An Anbu asks as he kneels down in unison with a dozen others. Yes, I've brought you all here to discuss a change in plans, someone says from the shadows. What do you mean? The Anbu questions. I've decided to change the schedule for the operation, the man in the shadow replies. We will be going through with the operation midday tomorrow. Do you understand? Yes, my lord, but may I ask why you chose tomorrow of all times? The Anbu asks. I chose tomorrow because that's the only day we will be able to attack without involving important people, the man replies as he walks out of the shadow. The man has black shaggy hair with an X-shaped scar on his chin and bandages covering the entire right half of his face. Understood, Lord Donzo, the Ombu answers. Now disperse and prepare for tomorrow, Donzo demands. Time for Sharingan gathering. 3:30 at the academy. Seems like class is over, Uruka-sensei thinks, with his head turned towards the clock. The students, now gathering their belongings, can't wait to go back home. Wait! Before you all go, Choji, Naruto, Sasuke, Shikamaru, Kiba, Ino, Hinata, and Shino, please stay back. Everyone else, you're dismissed, Iruka states. After all the students that weren't called left the room, the students that were called gathered at the front. Hey, why are we being left behind? Asks Naruto. Well, Naruto, Choji here has something to say to all of you, replies Iruka. Choji, seeing that this is his cue, enters the middle of the bunch and announces, well, tomorrow's my birthday, and all of you guys are my friends, so I wanted to invite you guys to my birthday party tomorrow after school, Choji says shyly as he holds up a bunch of envelopes. Here are the details for the party, says Choji as he hands out the envelopes to everyone in the group. Oh, wow, that's awesome, Naruto examines as he reads through the invitation. Thanks a lot, Choji, says Naruto, excited to show his parents. After everyone received their invitation, they all left. Naruto and Sasuke both rushed home, unable to wait for Choji's birthday party the next day. At the Uchiha compound. After arriving home, both Naruto and Sasuke immediately hand the birthday party invitation to their parents, not even explaining why. Confused, Mikoto and Fugaku overpinned the envelope and start reading. The invitation read, Hello, I would like to invite you to my birthday party. The party will be held right after school, May 1st, at the village park. It should end at around 7 p.m. At the party, there will be free all-you-can-eat barbecue, drinks, and of course, cake. You won't need to bring anything, but you're welcome to if you desire. I hope you'll be there and have a good time. From Choji. Then below, the writing was a drawing of a bunch of kids playing around at a barbecue. Seeing that their parents have finished reading, the two boys ask, So Mom? Dad? What do you think? Can we go? Sure, but remember your manners and don't cause any trouble, Fugaku answers. Awesome! Celebrates both Naruto and Sasuke. Are you going to come as well? Asks Naruto. Sorry, we have things to do tomorrow, and I don't have time to attend the birthday party. Also, I bet this party is only for Choji's friends, and I don't think he would want a bunch of adults at a children's party, Fugaku apologizes. Oh, okay, Sasuke says. Come on, Naruto, let's go train. Okay, Naruto replies. After a few minutes, Naruto and Sasuke leave their things in the room and change into their training clothes. After this, the two Uchihas leave for their training session, unable to hold back their excitement for Choji's birthday party the next day. The very next day, after waking up, Naruto and Sasuke quickly finish brushing their teeth and rush downstairs to eat breakfast. During breakfast, both Naruto and Sasuke couldn't stop suggesting the cool things they would do during Choji's birthday party. After finishing breakfast, they both gather their usual belongings and head for the door. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad, both Naruto and Sasuke say. Bye. Remember to have a great time, Mikoto replies. Yeah, today's gonna be the best day ever. We're going to do so many fun things. I can't wait, Naruto shouts. Come on, Sasuke, let's go. After leaving their final goodbyes, both Naruto and Sasuke raced to the academy, extremely excited for what was to come. 6.5 hours later, after school, at the park. Naruto and Sasuke, after the academy ended, followed the gang and headed towards the park where Choji's birthday party was taking place. After about 5 minutes of following the group, they finally arrived at the park. Oh yeah, we're finally getting started, yells Naruto in excitement. So, where's the food? He asks. Well, the food isn't here yet. The plan was to have the food come later during the day along with the cake, replies Choji with the bag of chips in his arms. For now, we can play tag or something while we wait, Choji suggests. After the suggestion, the group started brainstorming which games to play. In the end, the game they decided was Manhunt. Naruto and Sasuke, knowing they were the fastest in the group, volunteered to be it first. After the setup was done, the group was given 30-second head start before the game officially began. Once the 30-second peace period was up, our two Uchiha split up and commenced their chase. One by one, the group members got tagged and joined the hunting side. In about 3 minutes, all the children were caught, with Kiba being the last one.
That went over quickly, Naruto says, a little disappointed. I mean, like, couldn't you guys last any longer than you did? Are you trying to say that we suck? Kiba barks back, offended. Well, yeah, I mean, like 3 minutes? Kind of pathetic, don't you think? Naruto replies. You don't have to rub it in. That was a rhetorical question. It was obvious you guys caught us way too quick. Plus, it's not our fault that we can't outrun you two speed monsters, Kiba snaps back. Also, just to add, I can easily catch all of you in the same amount of time by myself, Kiba added. Oh, really? Want to test that theory? Asks Sasuke with a smirk. Yeah, I was just thinking of starting another game. Let's start, shouts Naruto. What a drag. Okay, this game, the hunters will be Kiba and his partner Akamaru. According to him, he will need to catch all of us in 3 minutes or under. The 30 seconds grace period starts now, announces Shikamaru. After Shikamaru's announcement, the group splits up. Everyone went their separate ways while Naruto and Sasuke stayed right where they were. After Kiba finished counting the 30 seconds, he opened his eyes and saw Naruto and Sasuke right in front of him. You finally finished counting, Sasuke taunts. Let's see if you can put your results where your mouth is, adds Naruto. Oh yeah? I'm not gonna hold back. Let's go, Akamaru, shouts Kiba as his dog companion and he charge towards Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke, knowing they've got Kiba on the ropes, start running in the opposite direction. Due to Naruto and Sasuke's superior speed and agility, they both easily avoid Kiba and his companion. For the next 10 minutes, Kiba hasn't caught anyone, as he's been chasing Naruto and Sasuke the whole time, non-stop. At this point, everyone else came out of their hiding spot and just sat at the nearest bench waiting for Kiba's goose chase to stop. Shouldn't we stop him? It's already been 10 minutes, asks the shy Hinata. Nah, it's fine. That Baka is blind by his pride. Let's just see how long he lasts. That dog brain will never catch up to my Naruto and Sasuke, replies Ino with her cheeks flushing. This is such a drag, asks Shikamaru as he looks up to Cloud Watch. The gang then sits on the bench waiting for the game to end. Shikamaru is cloud watching, Shino is playing with his bugs, Choji is somehow still eating a bag of chips, and Ino is talking with Hinata. This scene went on for another hour until Kiba and Akamaru finally gave in. They both collapsed on the ground, totally exhausted and panting. Naruto and Sasuke, noticing their chaser finally ran out of energy, approached the totally exhausted Kiba. Hey Kiba, what happened to all the big talk about catching all of us in under 3 minutes? Asks Sasuke. Yeah, it's been like an hour and you haven't even caught one person. Are you sure you're the best? Asks Naruto. I'm not done yet, replies Kiba, still panting. Bark! Bark! Barks Akamaru in Kiba's defense. Naruto! Sasuke! Kiba! Get over here! The barbecue and cake has arrived! Shouts Choji, running to his parents who were holding a huge box full of meat, a barbecue stove, and his massive cake. Coming! Replies Naruto, outstretching his hand to Kiba, offering to help him up. Still friends? Asks Naruto. Yeah, but I won't lose to you the next time. Just you watch, answers Kiba as he accepts Naruto's hand. After helping Kiba up, Naruto wraps Kiba's arm around his shoulder and walks him to the barbecue area. Sasuke, trailing behind Naruto, is holding Akamaru in his hands. A short walk later, our Uchihas along with Kiba arrive at the barbecue. Seeing that the gang needed help bring the food, Naruto sits Kiba by the table and along with Sasuke, they go help unload the absurd amount of barbecue meat. The children, while the meat was cooking, sat by the table and had a conversation. Naruto, Sasuke, you guys were so awesome! Being able to run for a whole hour without being tired. You guys are already qualified to become a shinobi, compliments Ino with stars in her eyes. This is my chance. Since Sakura isn't here, this is the perfect time to pull at least one of the Uchiha twins onto my side, thinks Ino. Gradually,
Ino makes her way closer to the Uchiha twins on the bench, when suddenly Kiba breaks the moment and sits right beside Naruto, breaking Ino's approach. "Naruto, that was a great chase. Let's have an eating competition as well," suggests Kiba. "Sure, but Sasuke is going to join as well. We already had this one planned," replies Naruto. "Oh, did I hear about an eating competition? I'll gladly join," adds a fired up Choji. Choji, the birthday boy, then moves himself so he sits beside Sasuke. The four competitors are now lined up on one side of the bench, all preparing themselves for the eating competition.
No! Now even the seat beside Sasuke is taken. My plan is ruined, thinks Ino as she sulks, looking for a seat. This competitive and playful atmosphere continued for about 5 minutes until the food was finally done. "Hey kids, the meat is done!" yells Choji's father. "Come and get them!" adds Choji's mother. As soon as the announcement was made, all the hungry kids raced for the food. One by one, they got their share and sat back down. "Okay, guys, before the competition starts, do not eat your food," says Naruto as he sits back down in his spot. "Nom nom nom, Naruto, what?" asks Choji, already with his plate completely clean. Shocked and surprised, the other three contestants have their jaws hit the floor. "What just happened?" asks Kiba in awe. "Choji, you weren't supposed to eat the food until the competition starts," says Naruto with his eyes wide. "Oh, oops, guess I couldn't resist the food. Maybe this eating competition just isn't for me. I'll forfeit the challenge. If I have to wait to eat my food, I don't want to participate," replies Choji as he turns around, going for seconds. "I guess that's for the best," says Sasuke, completely dumbfounded. "Yeah, if we competed with that beast, there's no way any of us could win," adds Naruto, while Kiba just continued nodding his head. Realizing that Choji has forfeited, Naruto reorganizes the rules and declares the beginning of the eating competition. For the next few hours, the Academy children continued to stuff their faces with the delicious food while their plates started piling up. This was especially true in Choji, Naruto, Sasuke, and Kiba's case, as the tower of plates beside them were 2 to 3 times higher than the rest. "Time!" announces Naruto, breathing heavily with such a big stomach others could mistake him for being pregnant. "Oh, I can finally stop eating," replies Kiba, very bloated. "Let's see who won," says Sasuke weakly, not able to move his body due to him being too full. "I'll count the plates," volunteers Ino in an extremely excited voice. "Yes, this is the perfect chance to get on the Uchiha twins' good side. When I announce Naruto and Sasuke that they won, they will surely fall in love with me. This is perfect," thinks Ino. After volunteering herself, Ino stood up and walked over to the three boys. One by one, she counted the tower of plates, thinking that she was about to get the perfect boyfriend. Unfortunately for her, after 5 minutes of non-stop counting, her plans were shattered by Choji. Rumble, rumble, crash. Choji's incredibly high tower of plates came crashing down. Now, the whole table was covered with messy plates, and as for which plates belonged to who, it was anonymous. This didn't affect the Academy students as much since everyone had finished their eating, but for Ino, this was soul-crushing. If Ino's emotion could affect the weather, you would see literal rain clouds above her pouring salt water. "Oh, that sucks. Now we'll never know how I beat the Uchiha twins," scowls Kiba, now getting up. "Like hell you would have beaten us," replies both Naruto and Sasuke, looking daggers at Kiba. Guys, we're all friends. Let's just calm down. How about we play another game?" suggests the shy Hinata. "Great idea, Hinata. Sasuke, let's go do our post-meal workout now that we're full of energy," says Naruto. "Sure," replies Sasuke. The gang of students then go out of their seats and head back to the field. While Choji, Ino, Hinata, Shikamaru, Shino, and Kiba are playing their games, Naruto and Sasuke were doing their drills and spars. In another hour or so, it was 6 p.m. and the sun had started to set. Everyone then gathered back at the tables for cake. In the center of the table laid a massive cylinder-shaped cake. It was about 1 meter tall and 1 meter wide in diameter. The sides of the cake were pure white, completely covered with smooth cream. The top of the cake housed at least 30 different delicious tropical fruits along with 9 different candles, signifying Choji's 9th birthday. The cake's presence itself was already overwhelming to the young Academy students.
None of them have ever witnessed such a beautiful craft. This is a really big cake, Sasuke, says Naruto, with clothes still a bit damp from sweat. Totally. This is bigger than all the cakes we've ever eaten put together, replies Sasuke, looking upwards at the cake. This is going to be the best tasting cake ever, yells Kiba. Wow, I bet making this cake would have been such a drag, comments Shikamaru. Yeah, it did take long. My parents had to order it 1 month in advance so the bakery could gather all the ingredients in time, replies Choji, with drool coming out his mouth. This looks so tasty, says Ino, with stars in her eyes. Wait, stupid Ino. You can't eat things with so many calories. You'll get so fat the Uchiha twins will never like you, says a part of Ino's mind. But it just looks so delicious. I'll just take one small bite, Ino thought. Under the cake's presence, everyone made their comments except Shino and Hinata, who both decided to stay quiet. After everyone calmed down from their astonishment, Choji's mother came up and lit the candles. Under the beautiful sunset of the Leaf Village skies, the academy students sang Choji happy birthday with Choji at the end blowing the candles out. Everyone that got their individual slices of cake and walked back to their seats. During the tasting of the cake, each and every one of the students made a sound from the delicious taste. Even Shino and Hinata, the quiet ones, couldn't withhold the immense taste of sweetness in their mouths. After the enjoyment of the cake, the party of friends went to play in the field again. Everyone played one last game of tag, which ended with the group of friends all laughing and happy. Seeing that the sky was darkening, Choji's parents decided to end the party. After exchanging farewells and see you tomorrows, everyone went their separate ways and headed home. That was so fun, Sasuke, cheered Naruto as he and Sasuke rushed back. Yeah, that was the best birthday party ever. Next time we have a birthday party, let's ask Mom to host one just like this, replies Sasuke with a sweet smile. Totally, I can't wait to tell Mom about all the fun we had. The food was especially amazing, adds Naruto. For the rest of their trip home, Naruto and Sasuke continue to discuss with each other about all the fun they had at the party. They named today the best day of their lives, or so they thought. A few minutes earlier, deep in the forest, near a waterfall. While Naruto and Sasuke were having the time of their lives at Choji's birthday party, Itachi was patrolling the outskirts of the village to report any suspicious activity. Itachi, after one of his rounds, decided to rest on top of a tree when suddenly a small shadow could be seen in the distance. Not being able to catch up to the person's speeds, Itachi activated his Sharingan and realized that the person coming at him was Shisui. As Shisui came closer, it became evident that he was covered in deep wounds and missing an eye. Come with me, Itachi, Shisui says, confusing Itachi a little. Itachi, though confused and worried, followed Shisui without a word towards a cliff beside a waterfall. Shisui, what happened to you? Itachi asks, finally stopping. Who did this? Itachi adds, pointing at all the wounds. It was Danzo. He attacked me along with his root members, and was after my special visual powers, Shisui answers, and apparently he was also simultaneously massacring our clan to gather our Sharingans. I was only able to barely escape, and I had to sacrifice one of my eyes, Shisui answers, with sorrow in his face. Danzo? That wretched person. If its news were to spread, the whole village will be ruined, Itachi thinks out loud. How's the clan? Asks Itachi, finally realizing the severity of things. I've already gone and checked. They're all dead, answers Shisui, seething with anger and clenching his fists. I went in search for any survivors, but you were the only one I could find. I don't think there are any of us left, adds Shisui, with great grief. Wait, what about Naruto and Sasuke? And my dad? They couldn't have gotten to him. He's the strongest of our clan. If they couldn't take you, then they definitely couldn't have taken him down, Itachi states, confused. Don't know how, but Danzo got to him. I found his body on the ground in your house. Naruto and Sasuke are at the birthday party of the heir of the Akamichi clan. I didn't go check, as I assumed that they were safe unless they somehow were separated from the group, says Shisui, calming Itachi down just a little. Danzo, the village must know about this, Itachi states, seething with anger. No, Itachi. As much as you and I would want to do this, we can't. As a matter of fact, we must do the exact opposite. What? You're not making any sense. Why would you protect him? Itachi questions. Listen, I don't want to do this either, but we must. Like you've already realized, if the village were to find out, it would cause a huge scandal. Maybe even start a civil war. If a civil war were to break out inside the village, it will greatly cripple our power, allowing the neighboring nations to attack us, which would be very catastrophic, Shisui reasons. Listen, Itachi, Danzo will eventually come after my left eye, and when he does, I won't be able to stop him. Which is why I will be entrusting it to you, Itachi, my best friend, to keep it safe, says Shisui, bringing his hands to his left eye. In a quick and seemingly painless motion, Shisui removes his own eye, holding it out for Itachi to take. Understanding Shisui's reasons, Itachi, hesitantly, summons a crow that grabs the eye from Shisui's hands, disappearing along with it. Shisui, I'm so sorry. Because of me, you will now become blind. I ruined your life as a ninja, cries Itachi, with actual tears dripping down his face. Don't worry, I've already got my future planned out. Oh, and Itachi? Asks Shisui. Yes? What is it? Itachi asks, calming himself down from his sudden emotional outburst. Please take care of the village. This is my final request, says Shisui, giving him a bitter smile. Shisui's last words confused Itachi, but very soon he put two and two together. The reason for choosing the cliff as the place to talk, the reason for Shisui to give up his last eye, and the reason Shisui passes his lifelong goal to Itachi. It all came together inside Itachi's mind. He leaps forward, attempting to catch Shisui, but it was too late. In slow motion, like time was moving at 1/10 of its original speed, Itachi witnesses his best friend, his idol, but most importantly, his comrade, free fall down the cliff. Unable to catch Shisui, Itachi mourns while watching Shisui fall down to his demise. Shisui! Itachi cries out, heavily resenting his lack of ability to save his friend. No, not you too, he adds weakly as tears start pouring out of his eyes. As Shisui's body gets engulfed by the rushing waters of the river, an extremely hot pain could be felt at the back of Itachi's eyes. The pain was so intense, Itachi was forced to close eyes. Gradually, the pain became lighter and lighter, and Itachi could feel something changing within him. Once the pain in his eyes completely faded away, Itachi slowly opened them to reveal two eyeballs blazing with power. The Mangekyou Sharingan. Don't worry, Shisui. I won't allow the civil war to break out in the village, says Itachi as he turns around and rushes towards the Uchiha compound with his newfound powers. Near the Uchiha compound, along the way, Naruto and Sasuke talked non-stop about Choji's birthday party. Even when they were only a few dozen meters away from the Uchiha compound, they continued to express their delight. What do you mean the cake was the best? The barbecue meat was obviously the greatest. The juiciness of the meat steak paired with that perfectly sweet and sour seasoning. How could you say the meat wasn't the best? You must be delusional, Sasuke shouts. What? Me? Delusional? Ha! Sure, the meat was good, but we all know the star of the show was the cake. Do you even remember the size of that thing? It was huge! And don't forget all those different fruits at the top. They were perfectly ripe, Naruto argues back even louder. The two kept bickering about which one was better, until they finally arrived at the Uchiha compound gates. Walking in, the two boys noticed that the lights were off and not a soul could be seen. They found it weird, but ignored it and thought that people were just sleeping, so they kept quiet and continued to rush home. On their way, even though Naruto and Sasuke were quiet on the outside, they both couldn't hold back the excitement of sharing their story to their parents. But soon, their emotions changed, entering their home. As they entered their home, everything was dark. Not a thing could be seen. No lights were on, and no sound could be heard. Now, the two Uchihas were extremely suspicious. They knew that Mikoto and Fugaku wouldn't go to sleep without them. A bit worried and scared, the two boys called out for Mikoto, but no one answered. Hearing no response, Naruto and Sasuke knew something was wrong. They quietly took their shoes off and sneakily entered the living room, and to their horror, Fugaku's dead body could be seen limp on the ground. What happened? Naruto asks, shaking and unable to comprehend this horrific sight. Both Naruto and Sasuke then rush forward to approach their father. "Dad, are you okay?" Sasuke asks, worried, extremely terrified while shaking Fugaku's body. "Dad, please say something," Naruto calls out, now with tears coming down his face. He's not breathing," Sasuke mutters, while frantically trying to process his mix of emotions. Dad's dead?" Naruto sputters, now holding Sasuke's hand, who is also in tears. Release! Release! Naruto and Sasuke cry out in unison, not believing that the strongest person they know, their father, is now dead. Realizing the truth, the two children then fall to their knees, hugging each other and drowning in their sorrow. After crying out all their tears, Sasuke finally says something. "Naruto, we have to stop crying. We need to go find Big Brother. He can help us," says Sasuke, still shaken by his father's death. But, what if he's also, Naruto trails off. "I am what?" answers a familiar voice, but with a bit of aggression. Big Brother?" Sasuke calls out in a soft and weak voice. "Big Brother Itachi! Father's dead! We thought it was a genjutsu, but, Naruto explains, running up to Itachi. With a flick of his wrist, Itachi throws a kunai right before Naruto, hitting the ground beneath them, completely shocking Naruto and freezing him in place. Sasuke, knowing that something wasn't quite right, quickly rushed over to Naruto's side. "Foolish little brothers! You want to know who did this?" Itachi asks with a cold voice. "I did it. I killed our whole clan. You two are so gullible." Itachi laughs in a sinister tone. But why? Why would you do this?" Sasuke asks, now under even more shock. "You want to know why I did this? It was to test my power. I killed them all to see if I'm the strongest Uchiha. And just like I thought, I am. You two weaklings are even worthy for me to kill. Hone your hatred and come find me when you possess the same eyes." As Itachi, as he closes his eyes and opens them to reveal two bright red Mangekyou Sharingans. "Hope I get to see both your faces soon," Itachi adds, before putting both Naruto and Sasuke under the Tsukiyomi. Being put under the overpowering genjutsu from Itachi, the two Uchihas fall flat on the ground and start spasming from the atrocities they were witnessing. Again and again, on repeat, was the scene of Naruto and Sasuke's role model of a brother massacring the whole clan. One by one, they watched their family, neighbor, and friends die while they couldn't do anything other than watch. Time seemed to stop for our two Uchihas. What seemed like 3 days of constant mental torture, in reality, only lasted 3 seconds. By the end, both Naruto and Sasuke unconsciously unlocked their first Tomoe Sharingan and laid motionless on the ground, completely out cold. Realizing what he has done to his treasured brothers, but knowing this was necessary, Itachi spared one last look at them before unwillingly walking away. Under the moonlit night, Itachi left the village with the last of his tears dripping down his face. And the day after the Uchiha massacre. After being put under the Tsukiyomi, Naruto and Sasuke were shown scenes of their family and clan's slaughter. Due to the trauma, Naruto and Sasuke eventually passed out. It wasn't until next morning that reports of both Uchiha's absence from the academy spurred an investigation. After class ended, Iruka, along with a few other staff members, went to investigate the absence. Immediately after the staff members entered the Uchiha compound, the corpses of the Uchiha members were discovered, hidden in their homes. Horrified and not knowing what to do, Iruka ordered a few staff members to report this to the third Hokage. Not long after, the third Hokage along with dozens of Anbu members arrived at the scene. With great efficiency and professionalism, the Anbu members were able to locate and record the fatalities. Soon, they swept by the two last surviving Uchiha members, Naruto and Sasuke, on the ground, unconscious. After confirming their identities, Naruto and Sasuke were then urgently relocated to the village hospital where they were to go under critical care. After arriving at the hospital, Naruto and Sasuke, who were still unconscious, were immediately sent to be analyzed. As soon as the results came out, the hospital doctors quickly went to inform the third Hokage about the two Uchihas' conditions. Report! Lord Third, the two boys have been checked. They don't seem to have any sort of major physical wounds, but we have noticed that they have been through extreme trauma that may leave lasting effects, warns the nurse. They will probably stay in a stress-induced coma for a while, adds the nurse. Okay, take good care of them. As of right now, I have some matters to take care of, directs the third Hokage as he turns around with a darkened face. While Naruto and Sasuke were unconscious on the medical beds, a few things happened. First was an investigation led by the third Hokage to find the culprit of the Uchiha massacre. Sadly for them, Danzo and his men were extremely good at their job and left no traces of evidence or witnesses. The Anbu did, however, discover Shisui's corpse a few miles away from the village drifting on the river, with both eyes missing. Although nobody knew what to do with this information, the third Hokage had a rough idea. After seeing Shisui's corpse, the third Hokage paid special attention to his missing eyes, and just knew it was a scheme of Danzo collaborating with Orochimaru. Unfortunately for the third Hokage, he had no proof of this event, and with just a mere hunch, isn't going to evict a person like Danzo, as he is an extremely high-ranking authoritarian figure in the village. As a result of the limited evidence and restricted options, the third Hokage could only wait for the only survivors of the incident to wake up, Naruto and Sasuke. In the hospital of Konoha, a few days after the Uchiha massacre. Huh? Where am I? Naruto and Sasuke mutter, as both of them start regaining consciousness. Slowly, they try to open their eyes, but both were immediately met with an intense pain at the back of their heads. Reacting to the pain, Naruto and Sasuke start holding their heads, trying to lighten the throbbing. Once the throbbing from their heads stopped, they both sat up and met eyes with each other, both confused and not knowing what's happening. Naruto! Sasuke! You kids are finally awake, says the third Hokage, relieved. How are you kids feeling? Asked the third Hokage, concerned. I don't remember anything. My head hurts, replies Naruto, rubbing the back of his head. Yeah, mine as well, adds Sasuke. Do you kids remember anything from the last time you were awake? Asks the third Hokage, with a hint of concern. I think we were at a party, and we ate a lot of delicious meat, says Sasuke, trying very hard to remember. Oh yeah, it was Choji's birthday party. There was also a very large cake, adds Naruto, hungry as well, but still a bit confused as to his scrambled memories. And then asks the third Hokage in a more serious tone. Well, then we went home, wanting to tell Mom and Dad about all the fun we had at the party. Then Sasuke continues, now focusing extremely hard trying to align his memories. Naruto as well is concentrating on what his memory holds. Then suddenly, both Naruto and Sasuke simultaneously give a loud groan, holding their heads. Memories start to flow in. The scenes of Itachi killing their clan, the bodies of their clan members along with family, rush into their minds too quickly for Naruto and Sasuke's minds to comprehend. The feelings of pain, sorrow, and hate, all at once, manifest themselves in the minds of Naruto and Sasuke. Completely overwhelmed by the sudden appearance of intense emotions, Naruto and Sasuke both pass out, lying back on the medical beds. The third Hokage, after witnessing this, quickly leaves the room in search for a nurse to rehabilitate the two Uchihas. Hours later. During these past few hours, Naruto and Sasuke were both out cold. Slowly and gradually, both of them started processing the overloading amounts of emotions. In their minds, the two boys constantly reflected on the events of their clan's massacre and the betrayal of their idol brother. Sasuke, with his nonchalant attitude, embraced his hate for Itachi, whereas Naruto, with his positive attitude, couldn't accept the great loss and surrounded himself with sorrow. Although the two boys heavily focused on a single emotion, both still felt the others, but just to a lesser degree. After both of them were able to find their unique takeaways and come to a form of understanding with their experience, they finally woke up. Ugh, Naruto grunts as he slowly wakes up again, together with Sasuke, who also seems to be waking up. Both of them then sit up and took a look at each other. Sasuke, says Naruto, with his eyes starting to water. Naruto, says Sasuke, who's also on the verge of crying. The two Uchihas, after exchanging looks, then embraced each other in a big hug. Both of them started bawling their eyes out now that they realized what has happened. Neither of them willing to let the other go, as they knew they only had each other left. This crying continued for a few minutes until the third Hokage rushed into the room. Kids, you are finally awake, said the third Hokage whilst opening the door. Entering, the third Hokage saw that the two boys were in an emotional moment, so he decided to say no more and wait for the kids to calm down. Naruto and Sasuke, realizing that the third Hokage came in a hurry, probably meant that he had important matters with them, decided to stop crying and calm themselves down. After calming down, the two boys let go of each other and faced the third Hokage. So, Naruto, Sasuke, do you know what happened to the clan? Asks the third Hokage in a calm tone. This sudden question makes Naruto and Sasuke freeze, but both reply with a simple nod. Okay, would you kids feel alright to talk about it? Asks the third Hokage slowly and not wanting to pressure the boys. After hearing the question, Naruto and Sasuke took a deep breath before exchanging looks at each other. They looked at each other with mixed emotions for a good 30 seconds before they could reply. Lord Third, we growl, interrupts Naruto and Sasuke's stomach. Oh, it seems both of you are very hungry. It's fine, we can talk after we eat. I'm kind of hungry as well, and although it's pretty late now, I know just the place. Follow me, says the third Hokage, waving to the two Uchihas. Feeling that they were starving, Naruto and Sasuke hold hands and follow the third Hokage to some place to eat. At Ichiraku Ramen. On their way to the eating place, neither Naruto or Sasuke said anything. They both just hungrily followed the third Hokage. In just a few minutes of walking, they arrived at a food stand. This place is called Ichiraku Ramen, the perfect place to eat, says the third Hokage. Come on, follow me in, he gestures. After the third Hokage's gesture, the two boys follow him in. Hello, Lord Third. What is it you want to eat today? Asks the ramen man. I would like 3 bowls of the usual. Today, I've also brought some young customers with me who are very hungry, replies the third Hokage, pointing at the two Uchihas who are in the motion of sitting down on the chair. The next few minutes went by real quick. Everyone was quietly waiting for their food. Naruto and Sasuke just continued to hold hands and looked at the table, near motionless. But everything changed once the food came out. The sweet aroma of the ramen immediately caught both Naruto and Sasuke's attention. Like an addiction, Naruto and Sasuke started demolishing the ramen once it was in front of them. They scarfed down the meat along with the noodles and drank every drop of the soup. When Naruto and Sasuke finished their first bowl, they ordered another, again and again. Each time, the bowl was completely clean, not a speck of food was left. It wasn't until both of them had 3 whole bowls of ramen that they stopped. The third Hokage by this time only finished his first bowl, and seeing that the boys have finished eating, is now ready for answers. So, Naruto, Sasuke, can you tell me what happened at the Uchiha compound now? Asks the third Hokage. At the sound of this question, both Naruto and Sasuke stiffened and looked back down at the table. There was a half a minute pause until Sasuke finally broke the silence. It was Itachi. Itachi did it, Sasuke says, with a shadow over his head and half gritting his teeth. Itachi? He was the one who killed the Uchiha clan? The third Hokage says, dumbfounded. Yes, he was the one who told us he killed father, adds Naruto, also in an angry tone. Would you kids like to explain further? Asks the third Hokage gently, knowing he is pushing the boundaries. We were going home after the best experience of our lives at the birthday party. We were so excited we wanted to tell everything to our parents. all the good food, the eating competition we had, but most importantly, all the fun. We were so excited, but because of this, on our way home, we didn't even realize how suspicious it was that no one was outside and how the clan was extremely quiet. We walked into our house, and that's when we noticed something was wrong. All the lights were off, and nobody replied to our greeting. We discreetly explored the house until we walked upon our dad's body, Naruto says, now holding back tears. Sasuke, seeing that Naruto was no longer in a state able to continue talking, decided to continue the story. Naruto and I then grieved for our father's death, and for what seemed like forever. Eventually, Itachi appeared, and acted as someone entirely different. After Naruto saw Itachi, he ran up to him, searching for comfort, but midway, Itachi threw a kunai at him, threatening him to not step any closer. Itachi then explained to us that he was the one who massacred the clan, with the absurd reason to test his power. Itachi said we were too weak for him to kill, and only when we have the same eyes as him should we find him and face him. After that, his eyes seemed to merge into something similar to a pinwheel. Then he put us under a genjutsu. In the genjutsu, we were forced to rewatch the death of our family over and over. That damn Itachi. I'm going to kill him, says Sasuke, gritting his teeth out of anger. Lord Third, do you have any more questions? Asks Sasuke, patting Naruto's back, who was in tears. No, I simply wanted to know who caused the Uchiha massacre. Now then, since we finished with the hard subjects, let's move to something else, says the third Hokage, turning over to Naruto and Sasuke. Okay, what is it you wanted to tell us? Asks Naruto, now much calmer. So, as you may know, the Uchiha clan has been wiped out. Therefore, the previous riches of the Uchiha clan now have no owners. Because of this, it was the council's decision to confiscate most of the property and possessions of your Uchiha brethren. Obviously, you kids will still receive parts of the Uchiha fortune, but sadly, most of it will be confiscated, the third Hokage says guiltily. What? Why should they get it? Screams Sasuke. Shouldn't we be the ones to get our clan's money? Why should a couple of grumpy old geezers get our clan's possessions? Asks Naruto angrily. Well, I'm sorry. It's part of the law, and it just isn't reasonable to give a whole clan's fortune to two kids. Something I was able to preserve was your family's fortune, the third Hokage says, trying to reason with the two fuming kids. You kids will inherit all your family's money and a small portion of your whole clan's. This portion of the clan you'll inherit includes your clan training grounds, the library, weapon storage, and cultural structures. With these funds and assets, sustaining your lifestyle until you become a shinobi will be extremely easy. Now, something you kids must remember is that in 3 days, the civilians will come to clear the compound. During the meeting, we came to an agreement that all possessions outside your home or the designated areas will be confiscated. So, when you kids arrive home, remember to take all the important objects you want and keep it in your house. This way, they won't be able to take it. Also, I'll be giving you 2 weekly allowances from your parents' account. This is so I can check up on you two and monitor your weekly spendings. If you two need any help with cooking or money management, you can find me at the Hokage Tower, explains the third Hokage, while handing them their allowance for the week. Thanks, Lord Third, says Naruto, accepting the money from the third Hokage. Yeah, thank you very much for helping us, Lord Third, adds Sasuke. No need for the title, kids. Just call me Gramps, it's fine, says the third Hokage. Okay, thank you very much, Gramps, waves Naruto and Sasuke as they quickly jump off their chairs and rush home without paying the bill. Hiruzen, finally realizing that they left without paying for their stack of bowls, lowers his head and sulks. Ugh! Damn you two! Calls out the third Hokage as he hands his wallet over to the ramen shop owner. And that night, after leaving Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto and Sasuke rushed back to the Uchiha compound, both momentarily forgetting about the massacre and excited about dining and dashing on the third Hokage. Sadly, this excitement didn't last long, as once the two Uchihas passed the Uchiha compound gates, all the emotions from the sad memories reappeared in their mind. Now, not as excited as before, Naruto and Sasuke's run became a jog as they headed towards their home. When the two arrived home, little words were exchanged between them. Naruto and Sasuke both went straight to showering and teeth brushing before going to bed, saying a weak goodnight to each other before falling asleep. During the night, Naruto and Sasuke weren't having a great time. Both of them dreamed about the Uchiha massacre. Naruto in his dream saw the gruesome scenes of his parents' death over and over, while Sasuke in his dream witnessed Itachi going from home to home, killing off each and every member of the clan. In their minds, both Naruto and Sasuke tried to escape from their horrible nightmares, but to their horror, both were forced to continue and re-watch the scenes. After around the 10th repeat of the same dream, the two Uchihas have already become emotionally numb. The earlier unparalleled pain they felt when witnessing the massacre have now turned into nothing more than just a sad memory. The scenes of death and murder of their family and clan are now just labeled as unfortunate in the minds of Naruto and Sasuke. Next morning, 6 a.m. Finally waking up, Naruto and Sasuke shot up from their beds, both completely drenched in sweat. Noticing this, they quickly went to take a shower. During the shower, both brothers wanted to share and talk about their feelings, but then the thought of them being the only family left for the other changed their minds. Knowing that they only had each other left, both Naruto and Sasuke wanted to act strong. They both wanted the other person to be able to rely on them, so subconsciously, they both agreed to lock their feelings away and put on a normal and strong facade for the other. After finishing their showers and re-evaluating their emotions, both Uchihas brushed their teeth and packed their bags. Finished with their usual preparations, Naruto and Sasuke descended to the first floor, getting ready to cook. Exchanging only simple glances, Naruto and Sasuke were able to create a plan and subconsciously assign each other different jobs. While Naruto was organizing the pots and pans, Sasuke rummaged through the fridge searching for what usable ingredients were left. Naruto, it seems we've been out for quite some time. Most of our fresh ingredients have already gone stale. We will need to go grocery shopping after school today, says Sasuke, scanning the abnormally empty fridge. Okay, replies Naruto, giving a quick peek at the open fridge, also noticing how empty it was. At this thought, both Naruto and Sasuke remembered the fun times they had when their mother would bring groceries home. Whenever Mikoto arrived home with new bought groceries, Naruto and Sasuke would always volunteer to help organize them in the fridge. They recalled the times where they would first rummage through the bags to find their favorite snacks and sneakily store them in their rooms, then eventually be exposed by Itachi, telling them those are for sharing. The old memories of the family together rushed into Naruto and Sasuke's minds, nearly bringing them to tears, until both of them remembered their self-resolution not long ago about staying strong for the other person. Pushing this emotion back, both Naruto and Sasuke acted as nothing happened and continued with making their breakfast. For the next few minutes, the two Uchihas worked together to prepare a basic meal of fried rice with egg, along with a few steamed sprouts. Their ingredients were limited, so preparing their lunch wasn't an option. After dividing the portions of food, Naruto and Sasuke quickly finished their lunch and looked at the time. Hey Sasuke, it seems we woke up really early today. It's only 6:45 right now. We still have around 2 hours until school starts. Wanna go train? Asks Naruto as he gets up from his seat. You're right, Sasuke replies. Let's go train. We need to get much stronger, adds Sasuke, also getting up from his seat. Great, we should take our bags with us as well as a change of clothes. We'll go straight to school after this training session, says Naruto, already on his way up to pick up his school bag. Sasuke, you should just clear the table and I'll grab your things for you, adds Naruto. Got it, replies Sasuke in the motion of clearing the table. At the academy, Naruto and Sasuke, after the 2-hour-long training session, change into a new set of clothes before arriving at school. Entering the building, the two Uchihas quickly rushed through the long hallways to arrive at Class E5. As they walked into the classroom, a huge eruption of noise came from the fangirls. Naruto and Sasuke are back! We missed you! Screams all the fangirls in the room, all of which are extending their hands wanting to just grab the two Uchihas to them. Welcome back, Naruto and Sasuke, says Iruka-sensei as he follows the two boys to their seats. After observing that the two boys are acting relatively normal sitting back into their seats, Iruka-sensei felt assured and decided to start teaching the class. Okay, class, today we will be learning the Will of Fire, announces Iruka, writing down the lesson on the board. For the rest of the day, Naruto and Sasuke will listen intently to the class like normal, but stayed completely silent, only making small nods at Iruka's teaching points while noting them down. This worried Shikamaru, Kiba, and Choji, who sat beside them, as they knew at least Naruto would have made some funny comment by now. Something was wrong with Naruto and Sasuke, but seeing how focused both of them were on the lesson, the trio of worried friends decided to not disturb them, at least not until the class ended. Note, the events of the Uchiha massacre have not been revealed to the public yet, as the causes were still unknown until last night when Naruto and Sasuke had the conversation with the third Hokage. Because of this, the Anbu and the council officials did not publicize the information. Yet. 2:30 at the cafeteria. After a few hours of class, it was finally lunchtime. Once the bell rang, every student rushed out of their classroom to get their lunch and enter the cafeteria. In the cafeteria, the students would sit down with their friends, eat, and talk about fun things. This was the time to relax. Unsurprisingly though, Naruto and Sasuke on the other hand just sat quietly at their seats as they did not prepare lunch. I'm so hungry. We shouldn't have gone training. We should have just gone and bought something for lunch. And now because of training, I'm even more hungry, screams Naruto over his growling stomach. I guess you're right, Naruto. We really need to start better organizing our time, replies Sasuke, moving his hand around his stomach, attempting to lighten the hunger. Growl. I would literally eat anything now. I'm so hungry, complains Naruto, with his chin laid against the table. Well, I mean, if we are fast enough, we can go to a shop and buy something to eat. I brought some spare change, suggests Sasuke. You think I have the energy to walk? I barely have the energy to move, replies Naruto. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't have energy either. We just need to hold on for a little longer. After lunch, we can crawl somewhere to buy food, adds Sasuke. During the two Uchihas' conversation, Choji, Shikamaru, and Kiba walked over to their table and sat down beside them with their lunch. Yo, Naruto and Sasuke, I saw you guys just sitting here doing nothing. What's that about? You guys forgot your lunches, didn't you? Asks Kiba, which Naruto and Sasuke hesitantly replies with a nod of their head. Here, you can have my lunch. I'm not hungry anyway, adds Shikamaru, sliding over his lunch to Naruto and Sasuke. You could have some of mine as well, suggests Kiba, sitting on the side opposite of the two Uchihas. Yeah, I could share as well. I always have extra food, adds Choji, taking the seat beside Kiba. Thank you guys! You're all the best! Examines Naruto aloud as he grabs a pair of chopsticks ready to dig in. Thanks for the food. I'm starving, says Sasuke, stuffing his own face just as much as Naruto was stuffing his. Now, as you two eat, we just wanted to ask why you guys missed school for the past 2 days. Are you guys okay? We noticed you two seem to be feeling down, and as friends, we can help you, asks Shikamaru. At the sound of this question, Naruto stopped eating and looked at Sasuke, whose mouth twitched but seemed to be prepared for the question. Well, something happened back at home, and we needed to miss school for it. As for how we are feeling, you don't need to ask. We're both feeling great. Now, why don't we talk about something else? Says Sasuke, changing the subject. After hearing that Sasuke was able to explain the situation without revealing the actual reasons, Naruto felt comfortable eating again, and so did Sasuke. Shikamaru noticed this odd pause and knew that there was more than what Sasuke was letting on, but decided to just let it go. He didn't want to pry any further, as he could see that Naruto and Sasuke were sensitive to the subject. Something big probably happened. If they don't want to talk about it, I guess I won't ask further. I'll just ask father about big events in the village when I go home, thinks Shikamaru, acting as if he was satisfied with Sasuke's answer. For the rest of the lunch period, the group of friends just ate and talked about things they wanted to do when they became a real ninja, and some other controversial topics floating around the village. After school, 3:35 near the grocery shop. After the lunch period ended, school continued as normal and soon came 3 p.m. At this time, Naruto and Sasuke immediately ran for the door. They rushed out of the academy and went straight back home, where they grabbed all the money the third Hokage gave them. With the money, Naruto and Sasuke then proceeded back to the main village in search for a place to buy groceries. After about 5 minutes of strolling and asking bystanders, Naruto and Sasuke finally found a place to shop. Oh my, this village is so big. Thank goodness we asked somebody for directions, or we'll never find this place, examines Naruto, looking up and down at the massive grocery place. For the next minute or two, Naruto and Sasuke simply admired the crowded building. Through the clear glass windows, the two Uchihas could see hundreds of different items, along with dozens of people inside picking the freshest fruits and vegetables. They both looked in awe as many families rushed in and out of the building. Come on, Naruto, let's go in. If we don't enter soon, all the fresh fruits and vegetables will be taken, reminds Sasuke, pulling Naruto along with him into the grocery shop. As the two boys rushed in, they came across a multitude of vegetables, fruits, snacks, meats, drinks, and more. Like everyone else, Naruto and Sasuke each took a plastic basket to hold their groceries and headed off. They went shopping aisle by aisle, each time filling one of their baskets by half. Every time they passed an aisle, Naruto and Sasuke got everything they needed in that category before moving on to the next. The two Uchihas obviously went for their favorites first, the meats, then moved on to the fruits, then vegetables, and ending their shopping with snacks and drinks. After gathering all the necessary foods, Naruto and Sasuke headed to the counter for checkout. They joined the quickest line where they would be the second party for checkout. Okay, that would be a total of $156.46, says the female cashier to the family of four in front of Naruto and Sasuke. Behind her were 4 baskets full of different groceries.
Oh, Daddy, can I have a popsicle as well? Please,
begs the youngest child, who seems to be no older than Naruto and Sasuke. Okay, dear, you're such a good boy. We should buy a whole box so your brothers and sisters at home can have some as well, adds the mother, lightly pushing her child towards the popsicle section. The kid, getting permission from his mother, ran over to the popsicle section and grabbed 2 boxes before rushing back to the cashier counter. Well then, your new total will be $170.55, says the female cashier lady, as the father pulls out his wallet, getting ready to pay. After handing over the money, the happy family of 4 walked out of the store, each holding a full basket of groceries with smiles on their faces. As the previous family left, Naruto and Sasuke walked over to the counter, handing over the groceries for checkout. While the lady was calculating the total, Sasuke said, "Hey Naruto, want to get 2 popsicles as well? I'm fairly certain we have enough money," suggests Sasuke, counting the cash in his hands. "Oh sure, I'll get it," replies Naruto. "Hey cashier lady, could you wait a bit? I'm going to get something else to buy," asks Naruto. "No, I'm sorry, but when you come to the counter, you have to be ready to pay," replies the lady, giving Naruto the look. "What? The family before us just did that?" refutes Sasuke with a shocked face. "It's fine, Sasuke. We won't buy the popsicle. With this many groceries, we won't have the hands to eat it anyway. Plus, if we decided to take it home, it would have turned to water on the way," says Naruto, calming Sasuke down while subtly examining the cashier lady's face. You should be happy that you even get to shop here," mutters the cashier lady under her breath. "That would be a total of $200, says the cashier, looking at the 2 boys. "What? Why do our groceries cost more than the family before us? Our groceries are clearly less than the family before us," complained Sasuke, getting more angry. "Hey kid, you either pay up or you get nothing," the cashier shouts fiercely, in the motion of taking the groceries away. "Hey you!" "Sasuke, let's just pay the bill. We have enough money," Naruto cuts in. "Fine," replies Sasuke, handing over the money, still infuriated about paying more. Seeing that the kids actually paid $100 extra, the cashier reluctantly hands back Naruto and Sasuke's groceries, all the while giving Naruto the look. "Now quick, get out of line. You kids are holding up the people behind you. Shoo, shoo, shoo," shouts the cashier, pointing to a non-existent line. After paying their required amount, Naruto and Sasuke picked up the bags of grocery and left the shop. Around half an hour of walking later, the 2 Uchihas finally arrived home. Entering the house, they put the bags of groceries on the ground and started organizing them in the fridge. One by one, Naruto and Sasuke relocated the freshly bought groceries into the fridge. After finally solving the empty fridge problem, the two Uchihas went upstairs to change into their training outfit in preparation for their daily training session. 4:30 at the Uchiha training grounds. Okay, so what are we gonna practice today? Maybe chakra control, shuriken accuracy? Asks Naruto, jumping around doing flips. Let's just warm up first, Naruto. We don't want to end up destroying our bodies before we even begin, answers Sasuke, looking at Naruto, who's extremely energetic. Yeah, I guess I forgot. Oops, replies Naruto as he starts jogging around. 3.5 hours later. After they finished warming up, Naruto and Sasuke began sparring bare hand with each other. One strike there, another over there. They continued this for around 2.5 hours, leaving them both extremely exhausted, resulting in them needing to stop and rest their bodies. After resting for a few minutes, Naruto and Sasuke started to train with their kunais and shurikens, throwing them at targets, throwing them at each other, and fighting each other with them. This continued for another hour or so, until both of them decided it was time to pack up and go home. Phew, that was a great training session. I can already feel myself getting stronger, says Naruto, with his hands behind his head while walking home with Sasuke. Although I'm still not as strong as Itachi, I have to get stronger, thinks Naruto. Yeah, we probably have gotten better, adds Sasuke, with a smile. But not strong enough, says Sasuke to himself. After arriving at their home, the two boys started making dinner. They opened the fridge and decided to cook up something big, something that will satisfy their hunger as a result from their hard training session. Looking through the fridge, Naruto and Sasuke simultaneously noticed the bluefin tuna that they bought on sale today. Without hesitation, the two boys took the fish out along with some supplementary vegetables. Okay, let's make some grilled fish for tonight's dinner along with some vegetables, Naruto suggests. Sure, that sounds like a great idea, but don't forget the rice, adds Sasuke, still admiring the A-class bluefin tuna. 25 minutes later. Naruto, what were you thinking? You burnt it! Screams Sasuke, holding his head, not believing such a great ingredient is now ruined. What? It was your idea! Don't try to blame the blame on me! You were the one saying how it'd be so much faster and more efficient if we used the fire-style jutsu, shouts Naruto, as he's pointing at the pile of ash, which was previously an A-quality bluefin tuna. Hey, my idea would have worked if you actually listened and controlled your flames like I told you to, yells Sasuke, waving his arms around like a crazy person. Oh no, you told me no such thing. Also, I did control the flames. If I didn't, the house would have burned down by now. Naruto shouts back, That's not what I meant! Yells Sasuke. Sometime later at Ichiraku Ramen. We should have just done this from the beginning. Then we wouldn't have wasted such a good piece of tuna, says Sasuke as he finishes his bowl. Yeah, we should have, agrees Naruto as he stretches his body with his stomach completely full. Do you want to go to Lord Third's office after this? For some cooking advice? Sasuke suggests. Oh yeah, he did say if we needed any help, just go to him. Come on, let's go, says Naruto as he jumps out of his seat along with Sasuke, both of them heading to the Hokage's office. The Hokage Tower. After a confusing but intuitive run, Naruto and Sasuke finally arrive at the Hokage Tower, the tallest building in the whole village. Without any hesitation, Naruto and Sasuke walk right in and head to the top, where the third Hokage's office is located. Eventually, they arrived in the front of the third Hokage's office, and right as they were about to enter, unsurprisingly, the two Anbu guards guarding the entrance stopped them. What are you two brats doing here? Questions one of the guards in a fierce tone. We're here to see the third Hokage, Sasuke responds. Go home, you damn brats, another guard says, pushing Naruto and Sasuke aside. We don't have time to deal with things like you. What was that? Naruto shouts. You wanna go? Damn brat, I'll take you on any day, the second guard shouts back. What's causing all the ruckus? Oh, Naruto and Sasuke, huh? What are you two doing here? Do you need some help with something? The third Hokage asks as he walks out of his office. Lord Third, we can handle this. Please just go back and focus on the paperwork. the first guard insists. Don't worry, why don't you two continue working? They need to talk. Come on, Naruto and Sasuke, follow me inside, says the third Hokage as he leads the two Uchihas into his office. Right after Naruto and Sasuke enters the third Hokage's office, the third Hokage started asking questions. So, Naruto and Sasuke, what is it you need from me? Asks the third Hokage. Well, we need some advice on cooking, Naruto says awkwardly. Okay, let's just get over with this, says the third Hokage, pulling out a cookbook. 2 hours later. For the next while, the third Hokage began going through the cookbook and teaching Naruto and Sasuke about its contents. The third Hokage also taught the two some personal tricks and tips he acquired through his long years of experience. And that's why you never add dry flour or cornstarch to hot liquid, the third Hokage ends with a tired voice. Yeah. Is that all? Asks Naruto, rubbing his eyes. Yeah. Now hopefully this should let you two understand the basics of cooking. You know what? Here, just take the book, just in case you two forget anything and need to see the book again. Now, why don't you two go back home and take a nap? It's getting pretty late. I'm going to do the same, says the third Hokage, standing up and stretching his back from the long day of sitting. Okay, bye Gramps, says Naruto and Sasuke, as they leave the office and head home. After the 2-hour-long lecture on how to cook, Naruto and Sasuke trudged back home exhausted. Once they got home, Naruto and Sasuke were so tired they didn't even bother wasting the time to take a shower before going straight to bed. The next day, 8 a.m. Due to staying up really late last night from learning how to cook, Naruto and Sasuke woke up extremely late this morning. Even after waking up, both Naruto and Sasuke were really tired, with bags under their eyes. After waking up, Naruto and Sasuke knew they were in condition to train, so they sloppily walked downstairs, still tired, and made a simple breakfast of quesadilla with some meat sauce, which they scarfed down quickly. After breakfast was finished, Naruto and Sasuke peered at the clock and noticed what time it was. Seeing that it was already really late, Naruto and Sasuke quickly grabbed a few leftover quesadillas along with the sauce and packed them for lunch. Carrying the backpacks behind their backs, Naruto and Sasuke ran out of the house, hoping they won't be late for school. 9 a.m. at the academy. Once they arrived at the academy, Naruto and Sasuke rushed through the hallways and entered into their class, just in the nick of time. Sitting down, Naruto and Sasuke waited as Iruka-sensei called attendance, calling on every name, each time waiting for a reply. After Iruka finished attendance, he announced that today they would learn about chakra control. Hearing this, Naruto and Sasuke groaned internally, as they already learned chakra control and were actually pretty good at it. Throughout the day, Naruto and Sasuke simply sat there, doing their best not to doze off. By the end of class, Naruto and Sasuke learned only one new thing, and that was the technique the whole class practiced. During the practice, while the other students were struggling to get into the proper posture, Naruto and Sasuke were able to hold the technique for the whole time until the end of class. After class ended, Naruto and Sasuke, along with Shikamaru, Kiba, and Choji, sat down for lunch where they talked about the class and how boring it was. Amidst their chatting, Naruto and Sasuke also gave Shikamaru, Kiba, and Choji a few pointers on chakra control and how it would be easier if they did this or that. Class resumed after lunch ended, so Naruto and Sasuke, along with Shikamaru, Kiba, and Choji, headed back to class. For the rest of their time at school, Iruka continued with his lesson on chakra control. By the time the academy was over, only Naruto, Sasuke, Shikamaru, Kiba, and Choji were able to fully master the technique, with Naruto and Sasuke able to hold the technique for an extended period of time. At the Uchiha compound, right when school ended, Naruto and Sasuke bolted back home. After arriving home, the two Uchihas put their backpacks down, changed into their training outfits, and headed off to train. 30 minutes later at the Uchiha training grounds. Arriving at the familiar Uchiha training grounds, Naruto and Sasuke started their training with warm-up and stretching. After around 5 minutes of stretching and jogging around, Naruto and Sasuke started their usual one-on-one sparring match. Naruto, do you remember the amounts of wins you have? If I remember correctly, I'm still one win ahead of you right now, taunts Sasuke as he throws a barrage of quick jabs at Naruto's face, which Naruto dodges with quick movement. Hey Sasuke, you shouldn't get too cocky. One more win doesn't mean anything. I'll get that win right back with this, replies Naruto as he fluidly ducks down for a split second before giving Sasuke a hard uppercut. Not expecting Naruto's smart counterattack, Sasuke gets hit right under the chin and is pushed into the air. Naruto, not wasting a moment, uses this advantage to jump up and downward kick Sasuke in the stomach, knocking the wind out of him and making him hit the ground flat in a huge thump. Ouch, that hurt. When did you make a new move like that? Asks Sasuke, wafting the dust around his face. Oh, you mean this? I made it up during class today when Iruka was teaching the lesson, replies Naruto with a smirk. Now we are tied, adds Naruto. Well, that's not fair. You thought of a new technique without telling me, complains Sasuke. But I guess we are even now, he adds, as Sasuke flips himself off the ground back into a standing position. Hey Naruto, I was just thinking, we can't just have only one jutsu up our sleeve, can we? We need to get stronger. I mean, sure, the fireball jutsu is powerful, but don't we each have 2 chakra natures? Wonders Sasuke, turning his head to look at Naruto, who's dusting Sasuke's back. Oh yeah, I remember that. I have fire and wind, while you have fire and lightning, replies Naruto, finishing up dusting Sasuke's back. Yeah, you see what I mean? We aren't utilizing our full potential. Right now, we only have 1 jutsu in 1 element, and we are already the best in the class. What do you think would happen to us when we become masters of 2 jutsus? We will definitely become extra strong, points out Sasuke. You're right, but who's gonna teach us? We don't have a teacher anymore, replies Naruto in a low tone. We can just ask the third Hokage, can't we? Says Sasuke, trying to lighten the mood. Oh yeah, we can ask Gramps. He's a great teacher, shouts Naruto, reforming a smile on his face. That is perfect. We'll just go ask him. Come on, let's go, calls out Naruto, already in the motion of leaving the training grounds. The Hokage Tower. After concluding that the best way for them to get stronger is with the third Hokage's help, Naruto and Sasuke excitedly rushed to the Hokage Tower. And just like last time, right outside the Hokage's office were 2 mask-wearing Anbu guards. Hey, it's you again, brat. The third Hokage's a busy man. You can't just come and disturb him whenever you want, says the guard on the left to Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke, do you remember this guy? How does he even recognize us? Asks Naruto, with his head facing towards Sasuke. Huh, I don't remember him either. It's probably because he isn't an important person, answers Sasuke with a taunting smirk. You 2 brats wanna go? Challenges the left Anbu guard, with steam fuming from his head, in the motion of rolling up his sleeves. Stay professional. You are being angered by 2 children. How can you call yourself the bodyguard of the third Hokage if you can't even hold your temper against 2 academy students? Warns the Anbu on the right. Oh my, is this the extent of the Leaf Village's elite defense unit? I guess having the mental capacity of a baby is all it takes to enter the Anbu. How sad, taunts Naruto, shaking his head. Yeah, Naruto, how sad. Let's tell everyone in the school about this. I bet everyone in our class will become extremely excited about joining the Anbu, comments Sasuke. Hey you, kid, watch your mouth. I will literally destroy you, says the Anbu on the left, before being cut off. This is unacceptable, says the Anbu on the right. As Squad 4's leader, I shall punish you for this immature behavior, adds the Anbu on the right. But they, refutes the Anbu on the left, until he gets cut off again. What's all this ruckus about? How am I supposed to work? Shouts the third Hokage from inside the office. Gramps, it's me and Sasuke. We have some questions, Naruto shouts back from the outside. Oh, you 2 again. Come in, come in. Guards, next time just let these 2 in. Don't create such a scene again, orders the third Hokage. Yes, sir, answers the 2 Anbu guards, with the Anbu on the left giving Naruto and Sasuke a mean look. Proud of their achievements on provoking an Anbu, Naruto and Sasuke walked into the Hokage's office with gleeful smiles. After entering the room and closing the door, Naruto and Sasuke take a seat in front of the third Hokage. So, Naruto, Sasuke, what brings you two here again? Asks the third Hokage with a pale and tired face. Well, basically, today when we were training, we remembered that we have actually two chakra natures. And since we already know a fire style jutsu, we thought it would be awesome to learn another jutsu before our second nature. The problem is, we couldn't think of anybody that could teach us until we remembered you, Gramps, explains Naruto, getting excited and a bit loud. You kids want what? Brat, you must be crazy to think you're worthy to be trained by someone like the third Hokage, screams the guard on the left as he barges into the office looking half insane. Sorry for the interruption, Lord Third. This disappointment shall be removed at once, says the Anbu on the right, as he paralyzes the Anbu on the left who just barged in and dragged him out of the room. Seeing this hilarious scene, Naruto and Sasuke drop on the ground laughing. Ha 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 ha, serves you right, laughs Naruto. Ha 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 ha, man, I wish I could have recorded that, responds Sasuke, laughing his head off. This laugh lasted barely 3 seconds until the third Hokage cut in. The Anbu guard is actually right. I can't train you two, but it's not because you two aren't worth my time. It's because I have a tight schedule. If I had the time, I would love to train you two. But as the third Hokage, I have many responsibilities, so I can't go around training academy students, says the third Hokage. Why don't you two go to the Uchiha library? They have plenty of fire scrolls there. I can even give you pointers as to what jutsu to learn next, adds the third Hokage. Hearing this, Naruto and Sasuke pose a question. Hey Gramps, we were asking for scrolls containing lightning and wind natures, reminds Naruto. Oh, lightning and wind? Okay, let's see. Wait, what? Lightning and wind? Don't both of you have natural affiliations with fire? Asked the third Hokage. Well, we both have two natures. I have lightning and fire, whereas Naruto has wind and fire, answers Sasuke in a nonchalant tone. I seem to remember saying that we had two natures already, didn't we? I'm amazed. You two were born with two natural elements? That is very rare. Usually a person unlocks their second or third affiliated element with rigorous and intense training. In fact, some people don't ever unlock their second affiliation. You two are very lucky, states the third Hokage. Never mind the Uchiha compound. Follow me. I have a whole lot of scrolls here, says the third Hokage. After hearing that they were special, Naruto and Sasuke both felt extremely proud of themselves. They then got up from their seat and started walking around the room looking for the scrolls along with the third Hokage. Hey Sasuke, look at that giant scroll over there. I bet there definitely will be wind and lightning techniques in there, says Naruto, pointing at the forbidden scroll. Sorry Naruto, that scroll is one you cannot take. That scroll contains forbidden jutsus that are extremely advanced. If one were to take it, or even steal it, they would be hunted down as a criminal and a rogue ninja, the third Hokage explains. At the third Hokage statement, both Naruto and Sasuke took a gulp and walked away from the forbidden scroll. Hey Gramps, could we also get some scrolls for more advanced fire style jutsus as well? Asks Naruto, tugging at the third Hokage's robe. Oh, for fire style, there's no need to look here. Remember how you two inherited the Uchiha library? Fire style jutsus are Uchiha's specialty. There should be plenty more fire style scrolls if you look there, answers the third Hokage. The Uchiha library? Says Naruto and Sasuke, while looking at each other confused. Huh? Didn't I tell you two about it when we were at Ichiraku's? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, the Uchiha library is where the Uchihas keep all their jutsu, clan history, and specific Uchiha related information. What is special about this library is that some of their books can only be read by Uchihas who have unlocked their Sharingan. I suspect that those scrolls are those that contain the most important information, explains the third Hokage. Wow! Sasuke, we really need to visit that place sometime in the future, suggests Naruto. Yeah, we haven't even unlocked our bloodline ability yet. We probably could get some tips and tricks in there, replies Sasuke. Ha! Found them both. Here, Naruto, is your scroll for wind style, and here, Sasuke, is your scroll for lightning style.
These scrolls contain a collection of different wind and lightning style jutsus with varying difficulty. I suggest you to start with the easiest one and progress to the next after you've mastered the first. If I have time, I will go visit you two and observe your progression, as well as give you some pointers. Also, tomorrow's the day the villagers are going to clear the compound, so you two better remember to take all the valuables, reminds the thorough Kage. Okay, Gramps, replies both Naruto and Sasuke, with stars in their eyes looking at the medium-sized scroll in their hands. Yeah, now why don't you two just go back home and work on your jutsu? I still have work to do, says the thorough Kage, walking back to his office. After the thorough Kage left, Naruto and Sasuke, holding their new scrolls, rushed back to the Uchiha compound, unable to wait and try their new jutsus. At the Uchiha compound, on their way home, both Naruto and Sasuke were unable to hold back their curiosity, so they read while rushing home. By the time they arrived home, Naruto and Sasuke already read through all the contents of the scroll. Wow, these jutsus are amazing! So many applications with varying difficulty. Training will never become boring with this. We'll become much stronger after we learn all these, examines Naruto. Less talking, more doing! Let's go train! Demands Sasuke. Heh, I was wondering when you were going to ask that. Let's go! Says Naruto. After this short interaction, both Uchihas changed into their training outfits and headed off to the Uchiha training grounds, carrying their new scrolls. The Uchiha training grounds. Immediately after Naruto and Sasuke arrived at the Uchiha training grounds, they began their training. Both of them started with the basics, like gathering their elemental chakra into thin objects, like a leaf. Naruto, holding a fallen leaf in his hand, tried to gather wind chakra to cut the leaf in half. After around 1 full hour of repeated exercise, Naruto and Sasuke were able to manifest small amounts of their second chakra nature onto the palms of their hands. Exhausted, but feeling fulfilled, the two Uchihas lay on the ground. About 2 minutes into their break, Naruto and Sasuke see out of the corner of their eye the thorough Kage walking towards them. Gramps? What are you doing here? I thought you were too busy to come help us with our training, asks Sasuke, sitting back up. Well, I found a temporary solution, answers the thorough Kage while smoking his pipe. Flashback to 1 hour and a bit before. After Naruto and Sasuke left, the thorough Kage returned to his office, sat back on his chair, and slumped over the desk, knocking over a few stacks of paperwork. Oh my, I'll do that later. Let's get this done first, the thorough Kage says to himself, looking at the many stacks of paper left on his table. Holding a pen in his hand, the thorough Kage started signing. For the next 15 minutes or so, the thorough Kage worked really slowly, due to him continuously wondering what Naruto or Sasuke was doing. He barely got 1 stack of paper signed, which before he could have done in under half an hour. I can't handle this anymore. I need some fresh air and a break, thinks the thorough Kage. It was at this moment that the thorough Kage came up with an idea. One so simple and messy, it just might work. With a silly smile, the thorough Kage brushed all the paperwork on his desk to the floor, covering his whole office with messy paperwork. Not believing the mess he's caused, but then thinking of the possible reward, the thorough Kage walks out the front door and confronts the 2 Anbu guards. Guards, I have an important meeting that I need to attend. You don't need to follow me. I will stay in the village. Instead, you two should clean up the messy office floor, says the thorough Kage, rushing through all the details. The thorough Kage, after giving his orders, quickly leaves the hallway and disappears, leaving the 2 Anbu guards quite confused about the situation. Waking up from their daze, the guards opened the office floor, and to their surprise, the office floor was completely flooded with paperwork. Ha! That'll get them off my tail, thinks the thorough Kage as he leaves the Hokage Tower. End of flashback. Now, why don't you two show me what you've been able to master in this time? The thorough Kage says. Maybe I could give you some tips on your jutsu. Hearing this, Naruto and Sasuke bounce right up, eager to show the thorough Kage what they've been able to master in the time they spent training. Naruto and Sasuke then proceed to show the thorough Kage the stages they went through to get where they are at now. After showing the thorough Kage they were able to manifest small amounts of elemental chakra into the palms of their hands,
the third Hokage started directing Naruto and Sasuke to the next steps on how to master their second chakra nature. Finished giving a complete run-through of the process, the third Hokage watched over Naruto and Sasuke while they trained for the next 4 to 5 hours, giving them tips and tricks on how to improve their techniques. When it was dinner time, the third Hokage, along with Naruto and Sasuke, walked to Ichiraku Ramen to enjoy a well-deserved meal. After the three of them finished their bowls of ramen, both parties exchanged goodbyes and went their separate ways. Once Naruto and Sasuke arrived home, they both took a long shower before brushing their teeth and going to bed. And this, guys, is where I'm going to end What If Naruto Was an Uchiha, Part 12. Also, remember to like and subscribe to my channel and share this story with your friends so they may experience it as well. This will conclude this week's episode. So until next time, see ya!